Yes, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, but more importantly, blue morning to you because, of course, it is another Blue Morning show. Today, as usual, we have quite a lot of stuff to talk about, but more importantly, the domestic transfer window is open. So we'll see as we the show goes on, we'll be watching the market, we'll be watching the club's activities, and if anything, we see any new developments, we will let you know. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another Blue Morning show. And I sincerely do hope that everyone is doing well. Looks like we have quite a lot of contributions in the chat already. I'm going to try and catch up and then come back to the panel. But before I do that, I want to say Blue Morning to my brother from the Madiba land, Tobago. How are you doing today, brother?
Good things. How are you?
Mm. I can't complain. It's just that I need the coffee to stay awake. It's 3 a.m. here, but good to hear that you're doing better, brother. You told me that you were under the weather or something like that, but welcome back anyway. So I'm going to try to catch up with the chat, and then I'll come back to the panel. Let me see everything we have there. Okay, understood. Just read what you wrote in the private chat, so no problem, brother. Let me start from the very top. Quite a lot to read already. Yes, the Champions League is the one that is missing. I think maybe because I switched up the time, and usually when I change the time to the starting time to another time, it clears whatever messages that were there, but there were quite a lot. It says that she will get love. I think they're talking about one of the new signings by the women's team, and I'm hoping Louisa would join us to talk about her, maybe if she has time, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, she's one. She wouldn't be happy until she gets it. That loss in the final to Barcelona, that broke my heart too. I think it was 4-0. I don't recall the result. I think Serbia, the Queen of Austria, she's in the stream. She maybe will let us know what was the score against Barcelona. I think it was 4. We lost to them 4-0. We lose a first time similarly. Yep, maybe that's a pattern. Maybe the second time that you win it, but we'll see what happens. But win next one. Yep, that's the truth. I put money on Chelsea ladies to win. I think they're capable of doing it this time. We are too lazy in transfer market. This has always been a Chelsea's problem. Again, I can understand the frustration, cheating one them, but I have to ask you just calm down. Everything will be all right. Besides, I think you must recognize that the domestic transfer window just opened today. Again, this is something we've said repeatedly on the show. The fact that we were under restrictions that didn't allow us to put pen to paper with, you know, players we want to bring to the club. We were only allowed to talk with them, but we can't finalize it. And some of these players have other clubs that are looking at them. And if you're the player yourself, and there are other clubs available, to get things done quickly and not waste time, you'd go to them. It's that simple. But that's, by the way, I hope you understand my point there. Again, I says okay, they said the Queen of Fostering says it's the first day, love. Yep, the first day of the transfer window. So, in other words, Sylvia is telling you, calm down, calm down, take it easy. Okay, again, the excitement gets even better. We've been now you could call. Now I can say I'm excited because we're allowed to talk to players. We're allowed at least domestically, not the English window opens today, not the European window overall. We're allowed to talk to players. We're allowed to finalize, get them to put pen to paper. That is if they are within the Premier League. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, about money when it's not their own. But we have to now, learn to face the new reality, which is the new owners will never be spending like our beloved Roman Abramovich. That is just the truth. There's nothing we can do about it. But I get your point, Quinn. Relax, Chidi. we'll get the players. The European market is not open until July 1st, which is quite like you could say 20 days from now. So it's not open until July 1st. There is a plenty work going on in the background. Yep, that's Chelsea for you. But passion can make one be desperate. Passion can also make one not be patient. So, but let's see what happens. How many strips you bought for Chelsea store? Yeah, to support the cause, to make sure the club has enough money to buy players. Yeah, let's relax. But Quinn, I know you understand people are passionate, so just be passionate with them. Probably Trippier, I know you're probably not that too concerned because the women have now signed 2 players, of which I said I'm hoping Louisa joins us. Maybe she has an update for us in that from that perspective. Got to myself, I got like almost, I think right now it is almost 16 Chelsea gears that I bought. I bought even more when I started the channel. All named, yeah. I don't usually I put my own name on the jerseys. I don't put players' names, another person's name on those of mine. This is how we end up signing Lukaku, but this time it's going to be different. Believe me, Chidi. Cool, Liam. It's because I'm mental. Again, it's a board decision. Yep, that's the truth. Because we don't always move fast. How do you know that we don't move fast, Chidi? Let me know. That's the thing. Let me know how you know we don't move fast. Again, Stribia said, Chidi, relax. No, but Stribia, calm down. He's just only frustrated. He's not being nasty here. Calm down, Quinn, okay? As it's time, don't mind. No, please don't. Calm down for him. We really need to improve. We're going to get close to Liverpool and Man City. That's the truth. But I think we will improve. Let me see what else we have here. It says, new owners, new way, love. That's the thing. We're not going to be spending too much. I agree, Cheetah, but it just doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. This is what happened last season. This time, relax. We have a lot of time. Yep, I agree. Let me see. Wait and see. Don't complain too much, Shady. As new owners, they need to prove to us that they're capable. I think they will do that. They already start giving the manager the right to choose the players he wants. So just kind of a completely different situation to last year. You cannot not compare the 2 windows. Yep, this is different. I'm really angry. Yep, that's why you need to calm down. You need to calm down. Okay, I understand, bro. But thank you for being, keeping me company on the panel. Blue evening, blue morning to you all. Nice to see you here, Limitless. I hope everything is good on your end. We will get that. The boss needs. Yep. Cheating be angry. Oh, because I get mad back. Yeah, just calm down, Quinn. He's just frustrated. He loves the club as much as you loves the club. That's the most important thing. Every day you read news, it's close. Yep. The media put out everything they want to put out. But we know the truth is you don't believe anything you see there until you see the player holding the club's shirt. That's when you know it is final. Again, by the way, before I continue reading, there's quite a lot to read. I may well skip all of them just to get to the bottom and be all caught up. We have 19 likes. So as you're coming in, or if you haven't, please keep liking the video. What is CFC doing? The CFC women is signing. CFC women, they're on fire. They've signed the second player. But I think we'll be all right. We're doing the job behind the scenes. Yes, of course I know. It says we will kill it this season. Thank you, Stribia. That's all I need from you. Don't get mad at people that are frustrated. It's only natural as long as they're not being nasty. Yep, I think we will kill it this season. We will definitely. Most of the players you're talking about are probably playing in Europe, so cannot be signed till the 1st of July. That's why we're being cautious with the topic we're discussing here. And then again, what we do always is we look at, what is being talked about. Again, we don't just jump to conclusions because of what we see in the media, or we don't just suck up to what we see in the media. we try to make sense of it, analyze them, and then come to a sensible conclusion. Phantom says 8 to like. Again, you lost today to Liam probably. What's all this pre-show chat? A lot of people have a lot to pour out in the mind. Hopefully, we get some positive news from the club before we get runs out of the new signings. Yeah, I think we'll get some positive news. I don't want to hear from so-called journalists on Twitter. Yeah, we don't trust those. And that's why we look at whatever they're talking about. We try to make sense of it out and come to a sensible conclusions. Yeah, love. Yep, always love from Street Beer. Want all moderators dropped and myself. Let's start again. No offense. I think we'll handle that. Let's face the show today. Again, Adore mostly. Yeah, we'll see. I think we're going to need them all, if you don't mind. What is say? Morning to all mods. Yeah, morning to you, Lee. How are you doing? Okay, now I'm going to skip everything. I don't think there's anything really to address there. Declan Rice story in Twitter. Let's hear that. Don't care as long as he kills it next season. Yeah, any player the club gets, I'm going to support. I'll be right back. A coffee and a smoke. Yep, that's important. Welcome. Hit the like button, says the Queen of all streams. Thank you. And again, hi, Sutran. Again, saying hi, saying I'm not just watching them cry and lose. That's the thing. That's what we like to see the opponents do here. Again, I'm going to skip quite a lot of stuff. We need to be realistic. It takes time. It takes time. That's just the truth. So no need, fighting over it or just Twitter is brilliant in terms of Twitter. I like watching people fight on Twitter, but the truth is that they can't punch themselves. That's what I like, but I don't like to see it get very nasty, calling each other names. I don't really like to see that. New women signing, Kadesha Butcherman from Lyon. Yeah, Stubia was saying something, how she is a brilliant signing for us and how good she'd be. I'm concerned about goalkeeper. I think the goalkeeping department will be taken care of. I think, what's his name? The kid from the academy, I think, will be the one, to be our backup goalkeeper, because that's, they say, the language that is used. Concerned about keeper. I'm not really concerned, Quinn. Here's why I'm not concerned. I was concerned because the truth is, Keparu Zabalaga is going to leave. At least that's how I see it, because he's not been treated fairly in terms of the selection process. I think there were times we thought he was going to start games, and he ended up not starting, which to him will end up he will end up feeling like he's not trusted. Again, that's where I said maybe he's going to leave, and we're going to start looking for another goalkeeper. So that's why I'm concerned, really, because you can't have the only trusted goalkeeper to be Edouard Mendy, and when he leaves for AFCON in 2023. We'd have just what's his name, Bettinelli, who we're not sure how well he's going to do if he starts for us. So we need another, you could argue, world-class goalkeeper if possible. Says, yeah, she is second signing from France. Yep. I think they're going to help the women's team. Nathan Baxter. Yep. Again, Nathan Baxter was the name I was looking for. Yeah, Emma don't do Americans. Maybe I think it's easier. I don't know. I think she has a pretty good squad already. Emma has a pretty good squad already. So you could argue that finding new signings isn't an issue. Yeah, again, the Citron says, what an incredible talent. Gavi, time to remember that Barcelona bid to extend this contract is now into his agent's hands with talks progressing. Again, do you know what he says? Baxter is very good. He is very good, I know. Was the computer... Okay, I'm enjoying what you guys are talking about there. We need a trophies this coming season. Again, it depends on how many changes we make. That's the thing. Says that Emma wanted extra defender. So the new signing is a defender. Is that what you're saying, Quinn? Please let me know. Let me say, AFCON, AFCON out of EPL season. Okay, we'll see. As we have seen, they can bond. Now, I'm going to go back to the panel now. But before I do that, please, we have 60 people watching, and we have just 22 likes. I know we can do better than that. So please keep liking the video. Keep liking keep liking the video, please. The more you like the video, the more people will reach, the more people will join us, and the more the show will be fun. Finally, I want to read this from Ima Abwasa. Ima, nice to see you here again. We haven't signed anybody, and there are no concrete links of which we can say that for now. Yeah, who TT wants? That's the correct answer. But who are we really talking to? There's no way to tell until But when it's concrete, I think we would know. Or when you see enough smoke, you'd know really something. Uh, Something is there. Again, let's see. We are not joking about the signings. We're not joking. No, it will happen. Yes, coach. One left back, one center back for the women. Oh, that's it. I think, yeah. But the reason I said Ima already had a good team, so probably all she needed to do was just pick some, get some signings to complete the puzzle. If you want to phrase it that way, as the owner said, he has the loudest voice. Again, yeah, that's good. That's a good thing for Thomas Tuchel, which means he gets to pick the players he wants. We have lost 3 players from the women's team. Oh, no wonder. Okay, so she has to replace them. Prince Noah Jr. says, when would Chelsea get new players on? Will all of those players we keep talking about? I don't think it'll be all of them. There's a chance it might not even be one of them, but you don't know because all we deal with are all speculations. So I'm just going to come to the panel. Tobago, are you there?
Yes, I'm back.
So let's start by before we start talking about the players one by one. Let me start by asking you your thoughts on all the rumors, all the you can say nearly all the best players in the world are being linked to Chelsea Football Club.
My thoughts about the rumors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to blame. I don't want to believe the rumors anymore. I just want the official statement in our club because like these rumors will give us extra thoughts and then giving us a false hope, and we end up being depressed, just like the last summer we got Lukaku. So I rather wait for the official statement, then I'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that's what we're learning here on Chelsea Perspective, not to think like anything is done until we get official announcement from the club. I think that's the best way to see it all because you could argue again, it's all rumors. Last transfer window, even I think it was off the transfer window because we're able to talk to players and sign them and let them come in as the transfer window opens. We were hearing we signed Attila Slazai, then he ended up being absolute nonsense. Some people say we've signed him; he's just going to join us when the transfer window opens. Some say we've had an agreement in place with him. But to me, I think it's absolute nonsense. But that quickly, I'm going to come to. Go ahead. You wanted to say something?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I can give LSG a chance.
Mm-hmm. So I want to come to LSG. Your thoughts on how far the transfer window has gone so far? For all the players that are linked with to Chelsea Football Club, your thoughts on them? Do you think any of them are just nonsense, or do you think most are true? Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's not different from any other window that
Mm-hmm.
we've seen in the past. I think what makes this peculiar is because of the new ownership situation. Even when we had Roman, it's still gonna take us ages that we have to wait and then they get the leftovers of
Mm-hmm.
that other teams could they want to get. So is the situation has changed. But now it's just that they have better excuses now. So before it was, oh, let's just wait for the takeover to occur. Now the message seems to be let's wait for the transfer, the contract to close, which is based, transfer window opens today, right? So
Mm-hmm.
let's wait for the contract to be closed, which is around June 30th. But other clubs are making signings, all right, before June 30th, all right? So why is our case different? So this is the culture that hasn't changed. The same scouting department has stayed there. Nothing has changed. So that's why I'm not optimistic about this window. It's very, very clear that people might want to be linked to Ross players that want to renew contracts, that want, a better remuneration for their services, to their individual clubs. Anytime they want to up their contracts, they use Chelsea as a bargaining chips, you know. So I'm not surprised with that situation at all. But one thing I would like to see is this. Uh, you know, I want to see shifts, you know, when it comes to our transfers. You
Mm-hmm.
know, okay, let me explain the things. All right. Say for example, if we were buying a player like Kozuma, all right, if
Mm-hmm.
we were buying a player like Kozuma from West Ham, all right, with no trophies whatsoever, I guarantee you, West Ham will not let him go for less than 50 million. All right. And so many
Mm-hmm.
of our fan base will be so much happy with that. It doesn't matter how many years left in his contract or not. All right. They will be happy, you know. But when they want to settle us, you know, is a big problem. And when we want to settle them, they want the price cheap. They want 20 million, 30 million. It doesn't make sense. I want to understand why that is the situation, why that is the case in almost every transfer window. You know, say for example, a player like Cucurella. You know, we want Cucurella. Man City want Cucurella, but he will want to go to Man City for even a cheaper price. If it's Chelsea, that price becomes times two. Why is that? That is what I think. I think that needs to change in this window with these new owners, because something must be fundamentally wrong. All right, for any club to have the belief that they can take advantage of Chelsea or they can raise the price even after other things have been negotiated. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing I want to see change in this window, you know, because look at our players. All right. People are even talking about players like Broya. They're talking about, oh, just bring 20 million. Are you crazy? Are you kidding me? None of our players, these guys just won Champions League. They are still current champions of the world. If you want any of our player, the price should start from 50 million upwards. All right. Some people will say, you know what, that's what Marina will be trying to do, and then we now have Deadwoods and stuff like that. But that's not what she's been trying to do. That's not what she's been trying to do. I've not seen anyone make a firm stand, you know, to make sure that our transfer is seamless. You know, so that's where I have my concerns. I won't be surprised if we lose all of our targets, including Kunde. I won't be surprised if we lose all the targets, and then last minute we'll spend more money to get inferior targets, you know, that were not even on our radar. So I'm not optimistic about this transfer at all. You know, so
Yeah.
we're just having this conversation, you know, yeah, for whatever sake, right? But
Yeah. I
not
think
on,
for me, I
not
see
on
it different. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead if you're still talking.
Yeah, not until I see the website of Chelsea updated. I take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah. As for me, I must say this: I'm not sweating it. I'm not sweating by any means necessary, even to the minute measure. I'm not. Why? Because I know they're really doing something behind. Under the radar, because that Chelsea of late, that's how they operate. And I do believe the media, because the media don't know. We don't really know who the clubs are serious about bringing in. That's why there's this concern, there's this impatience from the fan base, and it's understandable. We're all frustrated, knowing they've already lost. We'll be losing about 4 players in the defensive department, and they're not seeing anything serious. But I do believe we'll be okay. We'll sing again. This is just the domestic window just opened today, but we don't know really any of the players that are within the Premier League that we're serious about. But we get to that, and I want to ask another question before we move on to talking about the possibility of Chelsea signing the players we're seeing on the screen here. Ty, coming to you, your thoughts about the transfer window. Are you confident or are you concerned?
I'm not concerned. And I mean, what you just said about, fans being impatient, I can understand it, but I'm not concerned. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I've always said that we're going to be linked with everybody because, especially with new ownership, you're going to hear that because the ownership wants to do this, so he's going to do that. He's going to be going in for every player. There's some truth to each thing that is being said, but sometimes it's exaggerated. And like you also said, the club is trying to be secretive. They don't want to be exposing all the plans. And the fact is, you're not really getting any update from reporters or journalists because, to be honest, they really don't know because they even though they have the sources from inside the club, there's only so much they can say because they have to be secretive. So I mean, it's concerning for some people, but for me, I'm confident that we'll make some signings. Obviously, if we make 9 signings, that's not realistic. It's not going to just eventually change the team. It's going to be a process, and I'm just willing to accept that this process is going to take years. It's not going to be done after one window or two. It requires, getting players, allowing them to adapt, because most of the signings or players that would have to come in, adapt to the new league, and then at the end of the day, you don't know how long that will be. So it's a waiting game, but at the same time, you just have to be hopeful. The important thing is that the defense gets sorted out, because, like you said, we're losing 4, and there could be more as well, because we're losing certain players on a free as well. So I mean, it's important that we, get players in, but at the same time, I mean, the English window has just opened, or rather, it opened a couple hours ago. So I mean, it really isn't anything to really worry about, because things can quickly change. And I keep saying this: don't be surprised if you just hear that Chelsea are close to doing this. Just out of nowhere, you just see reports coming out, because at the end of the day, the media doesn't really know what to say, because even though they have sources, the source can't tell them everything, and the club are doing things in secret. So if that is something that can be giving fans hope, then they can take that, because even though they're concerned and they want players to come in, and they know that there's certain players that want to leave, and players who are close to an exit, you want to replace them. But I think for me, it's just about being patient, and deals will be done, signings will be made. It's just about which signings will be made and when will they be made.
Yep, yep. Again, I don't. I think people deal with such situations differently, and I can understand LSG's frustration. Really, it runs deep. It didn't just start now. I think his frustration at the club stems from what has been happening at the club, and you cannot blame him. So I'm going to quickly. Ty, while I'm with you, there's a question I wanted to ask you. I'm going to quickly catch up with the chat, and then I'll come back to the panel. The strip says 60, again, 93 actually watching right now, and we have just 33 likes. Please keep liking the video as you're coming in, as you're joining the show. Hit the like button. It doesn't cost anything. You're watching for free. Nobody's asking you to pay. All you can do to support those on the panel and the channel is just like the video to help us reach more people. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Stripy here says it's not hard. Just say I welcome you and hit the like button. Yep, it's that simple. She says I cannot wait till YouTube tells me who hasn't liked the video. I wish there's a feature that shows that. Yeah, again, that's hilarious too. Good afternoon, everybody. Blue supporter worldwide range. Nice to see you here, Junior. Again, if you're watching, please just take a second to let us know where you're watching from. We want to know how far wide we're able to reach people. Again, Grimes says that Dembele signed a pre-contract, and that's why she talked about him. The talks about him is gone quiet, and the main talks at the moment is for his use and delete. That's serious. We'll talk about them one by one and really check it, come to conclusions whether there's a possibility for them to join the club. Pauletta, welcome, love. Oh, that's a nice way to say Pauletta Jr. Yep, that's his first name. Says hi. Says Bailo, Mamoudou Bailo. Nice to see you here, Mamoudou. If it's your first time here, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. We don't play the game. We got Marina. I think she would do well for us. Again, some people think otherwise. Smash the like button, says Matthew Lee Benjamin. Nice to see you here, brother. Those Instagram stories by Mauricio Pochettino now sounds like farewell message to Paris Saint-Germain as he's gonna part ways with the club and the incoming. I think before time we knew they were gonna fire him, and I think that's what's happening now. Again, I don't know why Tottenham let him go. I think he's shown what he could do even without Daniel Levy spending much money. He was able to achieve quite a lot with what he had then. Again, may I know Neymar's update? No Neymar's updates here. I don't think he's coming to Chelsea Football Club for obvious reasons. And we're not going to go into that, his salary and all this stuff. Again, it says, But City actually has Chilwell, and City has Mendy, and he is the. I'm not sure what this brother is talking about here. Sorry if I couldn't understand what you're saying. Don't want him here. Yeah, yeah, Paulette, I top Nema is going in. He's not coming, and they're keeping him. Even if he's underperforming, they make a lot of sales. They get a lot of money from merchandise and other stuff with his name alone. That's why they were able to pay how much they paid for him in the first place. Sorry, Chelsea have Chilwell. Okay, now I get it. Okay, I understand. LSE, we had a transfer ban until May 30th, by which time everybody was away, either on international duty or holiday. I think you understand what he's trying to respond to LSE. Again, and take that back, love. Again, he's talking to somebody. I think the person you're talking to has corrected that. He's corrected it. That's why he says, sorry, Chewa. Says, Marina no longer works for Abramovich, so any decision she makes would need approval from the new owners. Again, if that's going to help some people to calm down, it is great to see that. Let's not pretend she did her own thing. Romana would have approved anything, but yep. So again, that's why sometimes I would say in most cases it's not her fault. She's just a negotiator. Chelsea take too long to make their signings. Again, be patient, be patient, be patient, people. Be patient, okay? Again, says what she say here. Okay, again, she said Jesus Dembele, Rice, Kunde, Delete. Yeah, add more names to it. Doesn't sound bad when he won't sound bad, but you're not going to get all those people. Be rest assured, I'm telling you that. Again, let me see if I can. If not, I will skip everything again. Ashe Rahro from India showing some love. Nice to see you here. I think I'd better call you Ashe. Ashe, how you doing? Because I cannot pronounce your last name. I don't want to butcher it, so it doesn't come across like I'm disrespecting you. And you'll feel loved here, feel at home, express yourself, and just keep it respectful, and you'll be good. Thank you very much. But more the meat side, I cannot understand LSE for an older fan. He always sounds negative and moody. Again, that's him. That's how he has every reason to feel the way he feels, given things he believes the club hasn't done well in the past. We're all allowed to express ourselves. But followers primes, and oh my goodness, why did I click on that? I think I need to ban that guy instead. Irma does work fast. Again, you can say Irma works fast, but you can say it's the same club. Probably, like I said, she doesn't have too many issues in her team. Probably had to, the plans to make a few signings just to solve a few, complete the puzzle. From Irma's perspective, the Blues must bring in the two special defenders, De Ligt and Kunde, plus Nkunku. Again, Tesfaye Getachew. I hope I say your name right. Apologies if I mispronounce your name. Again, if you're watching and you haven't, be sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It says here, Chelsea Koukibally. Yep, I'll read that. I think what's his name? Tobago already sent me something in the box. We'll talk about that in a bit. Chelsea sent Koukibally and have offered him a deal close to 10 million per season. Napoli values the defender at 14 million. I knew, I think his name is Deliriante, the Napoli owner. He's never easy to deal with. Not that he's a bad person. In terms from a business perspective, he's very, very difficult. I think he never loses. Even if the player has 6 months left on his contract, the rest assures he's going to get some money from it. It's amazing, the culture. Yes, yeah, boss. Yep. Again, let's see. Okay, let's see. Marina's present at Chelsea. Everyone will be possible. Thanks for the updates. Yep, thank you very much. Just want Kunde, please. I want Kunde to join as soon as possible. But the delays is giving me the vibes that maybe there's a chance the club are looking at a different player, but we don't know. A player with a different profile, but we'll see what happens. Now, coming back to the planet tie, while I'm still with you, there's something that came to mind while you guys were talking. Why is it when we talk about Cucurella, even the biggest accounts, Chelsea accounts, just go straight to saying, well, it looks like he's joining Manchester City. Why is that?
Yeah, because I mean, the impression that they're getting is that he would prefer going to City because they obviously they are more attractive in a sense based on league position and finish and the final standing and where they would finish at the end of it. And I mean, in terms of what Pep has been saying, obviously because they have certain connections in that particular way, it would give them a greater advantage rather than Chelsea. It's unfortunate, but I mean, in a sense, they're getting the impression that he would most likely go to City because City have been communicating with him even before the sanctions were lifted with us. Because we had an interest and we still do, but right now, obviously, it's a waiting game for everybody because they'd have to see what City will do. If nothing can be agreed with, and then maybe they can step in. But right now, the impression is that Cucurella would prefer to go to City because of how attractive they look and because they are in need of an actual left back. And Chelsea right now have one, and they just need somebody to fill in. Well, that's the impression he would be getting, to fill in and to compete. And at City, he would be able to have that left back be his own.
I think it now makes sense. Maybe they're hearing something because some of them sound so certain about that news that it's not even funny. It's concerning to me. Again, it looks like just we're nothing. It looks like we're a second-tier team to Manchester City. But
They're Jamaican.
Sorry?
This person sounds like they're Jamaican.
Who's Jamaican? Who?
The comment you have up, I'm reading and it sounds
the
Jamaican.
Home Young who says Chelsea will not buy player now, but went them lost
Yeah,
them.
that's
sounds like
that's
he's speaking
Jamaican.
patois. Yeah, I understand. Again, if you're in the chat, please do let us know where you're watching from. We want to know how far wide we're reaching people. Again, just let us you're watching from location A, location B. That makes us happy. And thank you again. I think we're doing good like this already. We have 39 likes and we've gained about 5 subscribers already. We're 2,735. Let's shoot for at least 2,800 subscribers today plus if we can. And again, keep liking the video. It takes just a second and it is free. Again, at home, a Chelsea fan love. Okay, nice to always see the queen of the house. She's really on fire today in terms of the chat. What are we still waiting for? It's not that simple. You don't sign players by just snapping your finger like this. That's a process, And again, you cannot announce, even if you sign player from outside of the Premier League, you're not able to announce them. I think that's the rule. I don't know. Truly, you educate us on that until the window opens. Then you cannot say officially that's your player again. But you're able to say, okay, I'm not sure how the process works. Big up Kuchila, big up the chat, big up the panel. Good morning, blue morning to you, Dills CFC. Nice to see you. Skriniar is an option, but here's the question I had about Skriniar. If we're signing him to play on the left-hand side, he doesn't even get to play on the left-hand side except if Bastoni isn't playing. So if we're going for him, we're going for a second fiddle player, except if the scouts have seen something we haven't seen. Maybe if it's good enough to be even starting, that's fine. Because my concern is even on the right-hand side, he doesn't even get to start, except if the guy that plays on the right-hand side doesn't play. Again, and that's my argument. Again, hit the like button, says Deal CFC. Nice to see you here, Sean from Sri Lanka. Oh, nice to see you, Sean. Did I skip it? Apologies, Sean, that I skipped your comment on where you're watching from. Even since we, Ndo says, Ndo best, Dalwan, even since we just targeted not yet signed, what's going on, my fellow Blues? Good question. Well, I'm going to try to answer it. The transfer window, the domestic transfer window just opened. So we're still in the process. And remember, we were under restrictions. We were only allowed to talk with players, but we're not allowed to put pen to paper to sign those players. So it's not that simple. But believe me, just say I told you this, I think we'll be fine. By the time the window closes, just remember, Coachella told you we will be all right. Okay? Again, says Kalibali Kunde delete seems good. That would be a good combo, but we'll look at them one by one. I'm watching from Italy. Nice to see you here, Home Young, and I hope things are good on your end. It says, I have doubts about Sangare. He gives me Bakayoko vibes. No, Sangare gives me, what's his name? This former Manchester City Ivory Coast player. Ty, can you guys help me out?
Yeah, Toure.
Yaya Toure. Sangare gives me the Yaya Toure vibes in terms of the way he plays, the way he finishes. His finishing isn't all about power. It's about, his intelligence. If you see the way he finishes, you see he'd grow, he'd mature to become Yaya Toure complete. That's not not in equal measure, but I think he's in his mold and he'll be able to do as well as he's done. Again, it says Enoch Arena says Chelsea is under new management. Things will be different. That's the positivity I want to see. Yes, believe. Yeah, we're working with people, that they may not spend that is the highest amount of money in terms of signing players from the transfer window, but they get the best because they're not just going to, throw money at the problem. They're going to do their homework and be sure whatever player they're bringing in will fit into the manager's style of play. And they've done something that I like. They've openly said, okay, the manager is going to take the lead on what players the club signs. You are unable to register international players, i.e. non-EPL players, until July 1st. Thank you for that. He says, we don't talk about the wing-back area. We need competition for Risi and Chile. That's important. And not just backups. We need competition for both players. So when we have them, when they, if anything happens to Chile or Ben Chilwell, then we have players who are capable of still helping us do well. And not when Chile or Reece gets injured, we're done. That shouldn't be happening. Hey, coach. Hey, chat and coach. Hope you're all well. Freddie, I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you here again. Sangare is levels nowhere, but he's better than Bakayoko 1,000 times. Bakayoko is still a good player. What happened? I don't know. You could argue he hasn't fully recovered from the injury he suffered before he joined us. And then I am sure there will be change information. Yeah, just don't hold your breath on that one. Again, Yusuf Farouk, if you can hear me, okay, I think I recognize him. I'm going to add you here because you've been talking with me. It says, if 108 of you liked Imagine, yeah, exactly. We have 114 people watching, but we have just 47 likes. Even if you're on the panel and you haven't liked the video, please do like it so that more people can join us. Hello, Strip here. Smash the like button. Matata United said, Matata listens to the Queens and does what she asks. Bakayoko was main man in France when our former DOF chose him. Yeah, I get your argument. Rice will happen at some point. If he really wants to join Chelsea, believe me, it will happen at some point. Let's see. Again, it's our channel. Yep, it's our channel, not anybody's channel. That's the right way to put it. I am so worried about this new management. I just hope we are in good position to start the seasons after. I think we'll be. Our songs just calm down. Nothing will go wrong. Okay. So now I'm going to skip quite a lot of stuff, and I'm going to come back to the panel, and I'll start with. I haven't spoken with you, Farouk. Let me start with you. What do you think about the transfer market? So, okay, he just took off. Okay, maybe he's not sure he's going to be able to do that. I'm going to quickly share something that my brother shared with me. My brother, who's on the panel, by the way, Tobago. It's a bit slow. So what I'm going to do, maybe move out this and share some other picture here. Give me a second, please. Let me come back here and take care of that. Then I'll go to that place. I'll come back to the panel. Now, what I want to ask you is this, LSC. If we're gonna get Koulibaly, should we still be looking at De Ligt? Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it all depends. It all depends on the number of outgoings. So if we are looking at that, that means Aspilicueta is definitely going then. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind having both of them experience and then an upcoming one as well. So I won't mind that. But I'd like to address some of the issues, was raised in the chat. First of all, I don't agree with the notion that our transfer issues is being exaggerated. We have countless examples and instances of us falling short, thereby reducing our value as a club. So I'm not going to be here, to gaslight the fans with a false sense of, optimism, trying to let them know that there is no issue, nothing to worry about, So I don't even think that we should be using the transfer, the sanctions as an excuse, because the women's team, we can, people can debate the fact that it's women's football, whatever, but it is what it is. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's business going on already, because that woman there is serious. She knows what she wants. All right. You see, there's this lady that used to play for us. She now plays for Reading, Diana Cooper. Right. She was a defender at Chelsea. I saw the way Emma is tearing to that lady. She was crying. And Emma told her she's not wanted here. She's not up to the level. All right. I don't understand why the women's team, the women football is getting more masculine and aggressive. Why the men football? I can't imagine seeing or imagining Thomas Tuchel speaking to a player like that. There's going to be problems. There's going to be problems. There's going to be interviews. And there's going to be some members of the fan base that are going to be taking side with the players. So I just think that whatever it is that is happening in the window, whoever is in charge, the personnel in charge, they are the issues. All right. So wait and see. All right. Because I told you from the beginning, I'm not going to count my eggs until the end of this month, until the 30th of June. That's when I will be expecting transfers to occur. So, but at least look at Liverpool, look at other clubs, all right? So the excuse of saying that, yeah, because the window just opened, but we already know who they are getting. Look at Man City. We already know who they are getting. Look at Tottenham. They don't have this excuse. So why should we? So something is definitely wrong when our players that should be happy to sign for us are not thinking of going to other clubs.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So if you can identify that issue then you have to talk to yourself. You have to look in the mirror, and see, if we are actually moving in the direction, or maybe you are just gaslighting the fan base, to agree with you, with your point of view. So I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to wait. I'm going to give them till the end of the month, and they better not say Kante, they better not say Pulisic to our rivals. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the new team, because as far as I'm concerned, they are just even if this was still happening under Roma, but at least we understand. We know at the end of the day we are going to get someone. But with this scenario here, this is an entirely new territory. All right, and we are not sure what we are going to get.
All right, and so let me quickly again talk to I don't know, Farouk, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, oh, perfectly. Now your sound is good. Hey, give us your thoughts on whether are you confident, are you concerned about the club's activities in the transfer window?
Obviously, I'm concerned. We are at our stage at Chelsea right now, whereby we need to make a lot of signings. And if by now we haven't started making any of them, it's actually a bit concerning. We've been linked with Jose Koundé since last summer, and it is so awkward that by this time we haven't completed that deal. So, and
you were aware. You're talking about Koundé's deal, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure you were aware that Sevilla moved the goalposts when they realized that we had already sold. We had already sold Kazuma.
But I believe since then we should have progressed over the season, throughout the season, about the transfer.
We are great terms with him. The only thing that was left is just to come to terms with Sevilla on what the price will be.
I totally understand that, but I believe we should be more swift with the way we do things. But if you look back at Chelsea for over some years, we make a lot of deadline transfers. Or a lot of people, when you talk about Dava Costa, Marcos Alonso, Danny Drinkwater, most of these deals were completed on deadline day, and that habit has been we are getting used to that habit of not getting transferred.
You don't see reasons why we haven't been able to bring in anybody at this point, even as we had restrictions in place. That the
Yeah,
restrict the stops us
we
from.
had the restrictions, and I must admit that was not good enough because the restriction made us lose Antonio Rudiger. It's made a lot of deal like this goalkeeper from Chicago Bulls,
I'm not
or
sure what. But
an
he
MLS,
plays
an
in
MLS club from Chicago.
mhm.
We were almost close to signing that young goalkeeper, but in the end, due to the sanction, due to the ban we got from the British government, we were unable to sign him. But I think since we know we are late to this, since we know we are behind, we should do things more swift. We should be serious more than any other club in England. Man City has completed Ireland, or Liverpool are almost signing Nunes, and Man City already even completed Alvarez from the Argentine league. So we have to be more swift. We have to be more serious. We have to take some.
Can I come in?
We have to take things so serious. We have to move very fast in this because
Yeah.
we have a lot of players to sign. I believe we should
Can I
be
come
making
in?
Tobago,
one more
I
than
see
five
you want to
signings
come
this
in,
summer.
right? Tobago, you want to come
Yes,
in. And
You said
before I
yes.
continue, Farouk, can you tell me where you're joining us from?
I'm doing from Nigeria.
Welcome to the panel, my Niger brother. Go ahead, Tobago.
Yes, I want to ask Farouk this. Remember, this is the new ownership. They need time to settle in. Also, the UK transfer just opened today. No need to hurry. We need to wait for them until they make the signings. They are new to this. You can't just say they are not good enough and they should sign the players start a go. They need to see how the Chelsea planned along with Tuchel before they came in, so that they can discuss with Tuchel and then they're going to bid for those players. So we need to wait. Also, I think what is affecting us is that we don't have a sporting director. Since Emiliano is not at Chelsea, we have been poor making great signings. So I think we need to be patient.
Yeah. Again, thank you for that great input. And Farouk, have we lost him again? Farouk, he's still there. Farouk, welcome to the Chelsea Perspective family. I think I like how strongly you present your opinion. I think that's great to see. But I want to quickly, before we start talking about, I want to quickly catch up with the chat before we start talking about Koulibaly. Ty, again, you heard everything Farouk said. And Farouk, yeah, I think you have somebody who feels the same with you on the panel, which is LSE. Ty, do you agree with everything Farouk just said?
I missed a bit of it.
Oh
Yeah, but
boy,
you
oh
just
boy.
address the aspect you heard.
Sorry. I could not contain my excitement. I just look at Chelsea website and they just signed Kadisha Bukana. Oh my goodness, in the women's team. That's 2 signings already done. This lady.
Mm-hmm. Are you still there, LSE, or have we lost you? Okay, Ty, go ahead. We've lost him. When he comes back, he can continue saying what he was saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying that I missed a bit of what Abir was saying.
Farouk. Yeah, okay. If you missed it, I think we should just move ahead because we don't want to. We shouldn't be, asking him to go,
Yeah.
repeat himself again. So let's look at this Koulibaly story here, shared with me by my brother on the panel here, Tobago. It says Chelsea have sent Koulibaly a 10 million net per season offer. Is valued at 40 million. I think that's euros, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your thoughts to you, Farouk? Is that something you want to see? You think? And do we trust this source here, Chelsea FC News? I think SA, which is South Africa.
I won't say I trust that source because this is probably the first time I'm seeing a news from the source. But it's no doubt we are well linked with Koulibaly. Throughout the summer we've been told about news about the fact that he wants to leave Napoli and then he wants to move to other clubs. But for me, I think a 40 million euro fee for Koulibaly at 31 in few weeks will be quite too much. he looks like the most viable replacement for Anthony Rudiger. But I think we should be able to. He has 1 year left on his contract, so I believe we should be able to price it down to something like 30 million to 25 million euros. 40 million
Mm-hmm.
euros would be a fee too high for somebody at that age and with the number of contract left.
Number of
I mean,
years
number of
left on
years
his
left on
contract.
contract.
Mm-hmm.
So, my
Mm-hmm.
opinion would be if we can get him around 25 to 30 million euro, I think he is a good fit. He would, I think, like Thiago Silva, I believe he had a lot of years ahead of him. So I believe it will be a good signing, but we should be able to we should be able to get the price down.
Ty, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Koulibaly, and I mean, no, that I am not. For me, I think it's key to note that with losing Rudiger, who has developed a leadership, and he always used to have this leadership said about him, but it wasn't really noticed. I mean, Koulibaly has that leadership skill, and he'll be more vocal than Rudiger would, be, visually. He's a player who I think is what 30 or probably not 30 yet. But I mean, he's a player of quality. He's a good defender. He he has some robust builds as well. So that kind of comes into play. But I mean, he's done quite well in the Italian league, and I mean, it would be good to get him, especially for the price, pretty cheaper than what City could have gotten him for. So I mean, it would be an interesting signing. It'd be a good one as well because it would benefit the team, especially in leadership, and you need those experienced players who can
How about your
explain
thoughts
different
on your
players.
thoughts on the price tag?
The price tag it's good enough compared to the price tags of other centre back targets that we supposedly have. It's a bargain actually because I was saying with Man City I think it was 80 million was what was quoted for him a couple years ago, so we would quite easily get him for a pretty cheaper price and with less risk.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. I have to be honest with you. I think that his name is pronounced De Laurentiis. De Laurentiis. I'm not sure. The Napoli owner. He's a shrewd businessman, and he never does business that is without making a sizable profits in terms of selling players. Now, the case of Koulibaly is very unique. If you remember, we got Jorginho for the price we got him because we had to. I think it was there was an agreement that we had to also buy Jorginho and some fee for Sarri. I can't remember the structure exactly, but it wasn't like we got Jorginho at that price for for the sake of it. No, he made money. I think from the money we had to pay them for Sarri or something like that. But that's why what I want to say is this: this is a man, even under normal circumstances, is very shrewd. Now he understands that we're desperate because no matter how we see it, right now we're desperate. I'm thinking, even as we think that Koulibaly will be too much for 40 million euros, I think there's a chance we'll lower it a bit, but I don't think it will be below 30. It remains to be seen, except if he's afraid that Koulibaly may well just run down his contract and leave on a free. But the truth about the man is he could care less. He knows we're desperate. But that's by the way. Now, let me just quickly catch up on the chat. And again, but before I do that, it's important to understand, yes, we need a mix of youth and experience. And that's where Koulibaly comes in. And I like this comment here by Tribble. It says, Koundé, De Ligt, Koulibaly. Those three, if we can get them, I think we'll be fine defensively because we still have Levi Colwell, you could argue, who would join them. Yes, the CFC Emerson wants a first choice. Again, that's a problem for me. But the fact, moving on from the Koulibaly talk, if anybody on the panel has anything else to add to it, is this? Yes, let's talk about this. Emerson if he wants to be the first choice, I don't think that works at Chelsea. You have to fight for your place. We have to have two starters in at least two starters in every position. Then the player who's in a better form starts. That's how I see it. Simon Phillips said, we're looking to get 3 center backs. If you can name the 3 he named, that would be good. Or if you can share the tweet for me, I'll share it on the screen. Women's football kids, yep, they're doing quite well. We will not be doing our usual business. I think he's referring to in terms of throwing money, at least talking about throwing money at problems. So long-term buys are the most important thing now. That's the truth. And again, we must start, to learn to, to adapt to the new reality. We have new owners who are profit focused. We're new owners who are businessmen. And they're not going to be throwing money at problems just like that. They're going to be looking, okay, if we solve this problem right now, how long will the solution be in place? They're not going to be into, okay, let's go for a short-term solution like we've done under the reign, or like we did under the reign of Roman Abramovich. They want a solution that when it's in place, it's going to be for a pretty long time. That way, they won't be going back at it, looking at trying to find another solution in a very that's in the next month or few months. Again, try King Amidos again. Koundé, Koulibaly, and De Ligt would be fantastic window for the center back area. It remains to be seen. Are we going to be able to sign them all? We'll talk about them. It's brilliant. Says Koundé over all center backs, in my opinion. I think given that we have Chalobah in the right hand side, and given if Koundé comes in, he'd be able, to play to play in that position. I think. Let me just think about this a second. Again, I don't think Koundé overall will be, let's say, if we're given the chance to sign just one person, I don't think it will be Koundé. Why? Because we have Chalobah who can play in the right-hand side, Reece James who can play in the right CB, although that's not, his forte, if you want to phrase it that way. I think the priority signing should be a player in the mold of Thiago Silva, which you could argue Koulibaly is close to help us lead the back line when Thiago Silva isn't playing. I think that should be the priority.
I mean, for longevity, that's the reason. Because of longevity.
Yeah. But do you think Koundé will be able to lead the back line? You let me know.
Not really, just for that right hand side. Because I mean, Chalobah can also play in the midfield. So that was the thought behind it as well. So that's his main position, but he didn't want to go on loan again because most of the and that's why the loan fell apart, because they wanted to use him as a midfielder and he wanted to be a centre back. So I don't know. So you'd have to find a solution there as well.
Yeah, and quickly, I'm gonna catch up also. Again, before I continue, please, I see everybody on the panel. Let me do this. You can see the Twitter handle. You can find Tide Talks. You can find Farouk. Is that your Twitter handle? You might want to change your name to your Twitter handle so that people can find you. LSG, you can find LSG with this shirt. You can also find my brother Tobago. But more importantly, I want you to go check out Tide Talk CFC YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. He's just a few subscribers, over 200. Let's get him to at least 210 today. I'm going to share the link to his channel in a bit so that if you haven't, you go and subscribe to him. But that's, by the way, again, here it says the Women's Academy were not sanctioned. So that explains why they were able, to be ahead of the men's team in terms of bringing in players. You could argue that, well, I was thinking, it says there's a difference between players TT wants and what's available for him. And that's a great point. Yep, because TT wants the players he wants to sign, but who are the ones that are available for him? Who wants to come? That's also another question if you want to add to that. I think Alex Becker's channel, I think you make a great point there. And always nice to see you here, brother. I hope you're doing well. Not the Academy 2 from France. Okay, I understand. Chelsea ladies will honor the award. I hope they do so this time. I was heartbroken when they lost to Barcelona that year, that they nearly won everything except for the Champions League. That broke my heart. It says Julius Armour says Koundé, Koulibaly, and De Ligt. Those the good combo there. We own it all again. Yeah, Sylvia pointed out as she, feels there. Again, what am I missing there? Where did I stop? I don't want to miss anything. Again, and again, we cannot wait. I cannot wait. Audi Cup, alas. Okay, is that which one is the Audi Cup? Can you educate me on that? I don't know too much we Chelsea fans are being too impatient. We need to calm down. Even Stribia, she said that like 1,000 times. We need to calm down. The window just opened. That's the domestic window. And the European window, should I call it the global window? I'm not sure. Opens on July 1st. So we need to calm down. And I do believe the club are quietly doing something behind the scenes. Again, I left Kunde off the chat due being
Okay, yeah,
given.
that is 95%. 95%. There's 5% chance that Sevilla decide not to sell him.
Yeah, which will be a huge risk for them, by the way.
Yeah.
Again, love Alex. Yeah, Alex, I think his opinion is brilliant. LSC, what you or other fans along media think is Tuchel's choice? Here we go again. I don't know. Anything we get our targets. Is there anything we get our targets before preseason? We always do well in the league. There's a chance it happens this time. There's a chance we will get in our targets before the preseason window opens, but we'll see what happens. Kunde is asked, yep, that's the truth. I think only 5% chance of Sevilla saying no, as Ty did put it. We love him. He loves us. He loves us. I think you could argue that. The most important thing is that he wants to come to us. And he hasn't made his his choice hidden. He was seen in England, and he's liking, and I think he's connected with a few Chelsea players. Help, Ramsey! Why are you yelling? Help! Are you okay? Or holler for problem? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure. Drowning? Yeah, that's a good question. Please let us know. Good morning, people. Domestic transfer window is open. Any domestic transfers to discuss yet? None. I think the only player that we've been a rumor to be linked with are 3 players. You could argue Gabriel Jesus, Raheem Sterling, and Cucurella, Bissouma, 4 players, but we'll talk about them one by one. So I'm going to try and catch up so we'll start talking about them. Up to you need help. Yeah, I thought he needs help too. I think you want to say hello, Blues, but smart devices, which you could argue earned smart anyway, wanted to help him complete what he was saying, and he landed to that. The panel is becoming a mourn first. Okay, again, I don't know how to take that. Monitoring FC. Yep, again. Yeah, that's really hilarious. Again, that's just the truth. SCP, where are you from? Seeing you on the football terrace, she's everywhere. That's why I call her the queen of all streams. Again, she better explain herself. Lee, I have my moments. Yeah, again, we needed to be calm. We just came out from a difficult time. Yes, we need to. Yeah, that's just the truth. We don't need to be impatient. We need to be patient. I think the club are doing quite a lot behind the scenes. Like I've said, True Blue, you and I are allowed to mourn with the old boys. Chelsea had to slow transfer window again. I'm going to just skip quite a lot and get to the bottom about the mourners. Okay. Yeah, true. We'll all do, but we can. Yeah, let's get to the bottom. Crazy Boy, hi friends. How you doing, Crazy Boy? It's been a minute. I hope you're good. Since a man who's identified all the deadwood, let's all defend our countrymen. Okay, thank you very much. Napoli wants 40 million and Marina want to break that price tag to 10. Ladies are signing, but men are still monitoring. Interested. Link open talks. Okay, let's see what happens. Again, I understand your frustration there. I'm going to skip quite a few because if I continue trying to read, again, we'll never talk about anything else we have to talk about here. I'm going to skip. Yep, I'm going down to the bottom because it says Marina's still here, likely leaving after summer. TT picking targets suddenly. I think not so fast to close new targets. We'll see what happens. LSC made a great point with regards to our diminishing attraction for players wanting to sign for us. Something happening to Man United and Arsenal. We definitely have to curb that trend as soon. Okay, I get your argument. I think you make perfect sense. Now I'm going to come to the panel. Let's start talking about the players one by one that we have here. Ty, let me start with Yusuf. Your thoughts, on Chelsea links with Raheem Sterling. Is this something you think will work? Or do you think, is this something you want to see happen or not? Whatever your decision is, you let us know let us know. As for me, I think it is it that this may well be his camp, engineering the rumors, or to get him to squeeze out more money from Man City as possible. Will he work out Chelsea? I think he will, but his starts this past season, isn't the best, if you ask me. Your thoughts, Yusuf?
I believe Sterling will be a good signing for us. We our wing. One of the problem with our team is the wing.
Hmm.
We have what we thought would be good wingers, but are not performing. I believe Sterling would
Let
be
me
a
ask
good
you this
option.
quickly. Under Thomas Tuchel, do we really need wingers?
Yes, I think we need good wingers.
And
We
then
need. Let
play
me
them
see.
as not play
Let
them
me
as
put it like
number
this.
eight.
Let me put it like this.
Hmm.
We need wingers that can score. We need people that can score goals. Mason Mount improved so well this season, and it was vital for us. We need wingers. We need forwards that can score goals. But
Hmm.
my concern about Sterling is the fact that we don't want to compete with City, taking what they are rejecting. If we want to compete with them, we need we shouldn't be going for players that are not they believe they are not good enough for them, like Gabriel Jesus, like Raheem Sterling. We should be able to do more. I believe we should be able to put ourselves, because it's been 3 seasons now that Liverpool and Man City has maintained this duopoly
Hmm.
about the league. And we have not, since Antonio Conte, we have not been challenging for the league. And I believe this is the right time. And if we are going to challenge for the league, it's not like getting players from that are not good enough for our rivals.
Really? Okay, that's an interesting view on that, but I get your point. Tobago, your thoughts. Do you think we need Raheem Sterling, and do you think it's something that's going to happen? Do you really trust Chelsea links with Raheem Sterling?
You know what? If Sterling, I don't think Sterling will leave City. Remember last summer they had a similar situation where they want Sterling to go to another club, even Bernardo Silva. They didn't go. So Sterling leaving at Man City, to be honest, I don't see he will leave. Also, due to his wages, I don't think it's a good signing for
I
us.
think he's currently on 200.
And then how much will he demand? That's the issue again.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but the truth is that when players are joining new clubs, they usually go higher. They usually go for wages higher than what they earn in their previous club.
Yes. But now I understand that the links with Sterling, because like our attackers are not direct enough. So that's why we've been linked with Sterling and Dembele. So Sterling, I don't want Sterling at Chelsea, man.
To you, the Sterling link, do you think it is real or nonsense?
I think it's real.
Really? All right.
Yes.
I get your point. Ty, your thoughts.
Yeah, for me, Sterling isn't really my cup of tea when it comes on. I mean, we have some, we're kind of the opposite of each other in a sense, with nationality and everything. But I
Hmm.
mean, he's he's a good player. I mean, he hasn't really been the most clinical player. He does suit, well, like, for me at least, I think it would suit the system, but I think his output really is an issue. I mean, he can give a good input, but the output really isn't good. He doesn't really score a lot of goals, and he does miss a lot of chances for City. I mean, I think he's what, 27, so I mean he's coming close to his prime. So I'm not really sure about it. I mean, he, he his he's a player that has been linked with moves in the past, and nothing ever came from it. He always ended up staying for another season, and then the next summer here that he's going to be leaving. I'm not sure about his contract situation, but I think I'm really not sure if he would be the best option right now, especially with the fact that he he isn't really looking like a key player. I mean, it's like we're getting dumped players that they don't want or players that they don't value. And I mean, for me, that's not really a good indication because they could be using that, to say, let's hamper their progression. Let's give them the players that we don't want. And I mean, as much as Tuchel has been able to get a lot out of certain players, it's really asking him too much to automatically transform Sterling into a player that will be finishing 2 out of 3 chances that he's getting, and that's not realistic. So I think with Sterling, he's a good player. He has pace, and I mean, it would be good if he had good finishing consistently. But I mean, right now, I think we should be looking probably with a more conservative approach, trying to to look at younger players, not too young, but players who have been in the game for a while, but they're also young, probably 23, 24. But I think at the end of the day, I think Sterling probably is one of the options that really, in a sense, doesn't really surprise me.
I think again it's all nonsense. I think they try and just it's his camp. You could argue they're the ones that is the people in his camp are the ones engineering this whole nonsense to squeeze out more money from Manchester City, because the truth is Pep likes to keep a very large squad, and I don't see him losing Gabriel Jesus and losing Raheem Sterling in the same window. Plus, you could argue that the story, the Gabriel Jesus story, is more serious, given that Arsenal wants him, we want him, and plus other clubs that have been mentioned. So, and it looks like we've actually inquired, from what I'm hearing, about the process again. But that's, by the way, LSG. If are you still there with us? Please do let me know.
Yeah, I'm here.
So please, your thoughts on the Raheem Sterling story? Do you think is the truth? Do you think it's absolute nonsense? Or what your thoughts?
Like we said before, every single player are going to be linked to us, so I won't be surprised on that at all.
But from what you're seeing, what do you think about the links?
Yeah, there might be some legs. There might be some legs to it, because he's also concerned about his playing time at City. I understand the fans that don't want him because he will look as if we're accepting the City reject. But at the same time, that doesn't negate the fact that he's actually a good player. Yeah, he missed a lot of chances as well. Personally, I don't want him because I don't like his. It doesn't have any defensive contribution, when it comes to how we play. That's going to be a major hiccup for him. So,
but at least he presses from the front. But just let me know. Yeah, go ahead.
He does press from the front, but you press together, you win the ball together. The moment you lose it, I don't think he has that. And what I would say is this: in terms of his, further development, I think he's hit his peak. I don't think you can teach him any new trick to learn or something, So I think he's got into the zenith of football, even though he hasn't won the Champions League. But the question now is this: does he think that he'll have? Because when it comes to domestic competitions, I don't think he has anything more to prove. All right. So if he's in Europe, does he believe that Chelsea have a better chance of winning the next Champions League compared to City? So we have to question, what is your ambition? What do you want to do next? Because the last thing we want is another player walking around around Coburn like a superstar, and not ready to listen. So I'll be much more comfortable with even a player like Mahrez, and Gabriel Jesus, compared to this guy here. So I don't want him at Chelsea. If we get him, no problem. I'm indifferent completely to the situation. But whether the rumor is true or not is left to be seen.
But overall, what's your thought? Do you think is it truth?
Overall, I don't think it's true.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you for obvious reasons. I'm going to quickly catch up with the channel and call back to the panel again. LSG, I don't know how to start thanking you for always finding time to be on the panel, even though you're at work. But again, thank you again once more. Says here, Lee says Sterling is too old. now for the rebuild and Tuchel's team. But that begs the question, Lee. Now, we're talking about the importance of balance, the importance of having experience and also youth, because we cannot, because we're building and just, focus on players who are in their early 20s and all that, and then not mix it up with experience. I think that would be a problem. So let me know, Lee, let me know how you plan on solving, still ensuring a balance without signing player who you consider old. And Sterling, how old is he again? Let's see. But we're here to ask whether you think there's some truth in that. Sterling here, he says he's 27. He's not even 30 yet. So again, so if you say Sterling is too old now for the rebuild, then do we have to throw away the need to have a balance in the team, to have experience and youth? You let me know how you want to handle that to ensure balance, and at the same time, not bring in players who are too old since we're rebuilding. I want to understand that, and it's not like his numbers aren't really that bad. In 2022-2021 season, he scored 13 goals, 5 assists. You could argue not bad, but I think his best season so far at Man City is 2019-2020. When did he join them? Okay, so this is still under Man City. Yep, this is still under Man City's.
Didn't he join when he was very young? He started at Liverpool and then he went there.
Yeah, he's joined around 2015, 2016 because that's when he starts here. Yeah, so his best numbers, I think, let's see if it's improved. Liverpool, 7 goals, 3 goals. He's improved since he's joined Man City. But again, we're not here to talk about his statistic, but I'm just saying his numbers aren't that bad. But the fact is, again, the question is it true, or is this agent just pushing the narrative to get Man City to pay him even more? But we'll find out. Again, we'll move. It says was amazing. But, oh gosh, I can't. I think I have to look at those things before I click on them. We don't need a Sterling. Again, that's your argument. What if Thomas Tuchel wants him? And we should be careful how we say we. Everything comes down to what the manager wants. A lot of us come here and suggest players, but it all comes down to what the manager wants. And here, I want to say we have 67 people watching, and we have just we have 114 people watching, and we have just 67 likes. Please keep liking the video. It's free. It takes just a second. Just click on it to show that you're enjoying the show or your way of supporting the show. You don't even have to donate. All I ask is just, click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I think Gabriel Jesus would be perfecto. We will look at it, and I like that language, perfecto. Jesus with Kai and Mount. Talk about fluidity, you'd have that there. Pure fluidity, which is what Thomas Tuchel prefers, underused on a traditional striker, which means in most cases the focus of the wing backs and the midfielders will be to find the point man in the final third, which usually limits how many chances we'll be able to create. Left the better season. Again, I haven't said big up to the point of the house. Nice to see you here. I hope you're doing well. Again, it says, AN says, Lee, I hope we have good transfer window. I mean, the board has been only 2 weeks in charge. I think, again, Todd Boehly hasn't actually changed much. He'd be stupid to come in and just change everything entirely, which means the board, if he has changed the board that much, which means the new board will be, you could say, adaptation period. They need time to understand how this whole thing works. Because not all of them are football people, if you allow me to phrase it that way. So I think he was smart to leave the likes of Bruce Buck and others that are still at the club that may leave soon at the end of the season, like Marina. Whether you admit it or not, even if you think she hasn't done well, she remaining at the club will be very helpful. She will help facilitate a smooth transition from the Roman era to the Todd Boehly era. So even if, again, the board, I think you could argue, remains, a lot of people who were at the club who are still here, like Petr Cech, would ensure that things go very well. But that's, by the way, it says, yes, said the evil. Yeah, Sterling is that type of player. Again, Bruno Camastro said, is that type of player that is stronger when he's surrounded by a strong squad, but he wouldn't be a Hazard who carries the team during a poor game. I think that's another good way to see it. Do I think he's good? I think he's a good player, and he's one of those who can create chance for himself. Do I rate him as a creator overall? I would say I don't rate him highly as a creator overall. If you look at his statistics, especially in 2020, he has just 5 assists. To be rated in that highly, in that you should have take you should check Kevin De Bruyne's numbers in terms of assists. But that's, by the way, we will, and yes, only 2 weeks, and the window is only half open. Yeah, but it's half open because that is the non-domestic window will open on the first of the coming month. Again, let's say before it says we need to focus on our defense. The club will be stupid not to prioritize the defensive department. That's for sure. They must. Again, they don't know what they're doing if they're looking beyond. Again, they may be looking at so many, even the midfield area, but again, the priority will be the main focus will be the defensive area. Also, that part where Thiago Silva liked his post on IG may be a hint, or maybe because he is his wish to see it happen. That may well be the case. And given Thiago Silva, his pedigree, and given his, he may well be able to help us sign Gabriel Jesus if we really want him. Because
Agent Silva.
Yeah, Agent Silva, indeed. Again, that's like what Rudiger did for us when we were trying to sign the two Germans. It seems we will love. Yeah, you see, if only Sterling had a good leap in him, too. Why are you doing this, Mikael? You are for people like you're gonna like you would say to somebody. I think we really don't. We have Kai. We have others who can live quite well. It doesn't matter if we really want him, but at this point, I don't think we want him. That's my argument. Even when we were total rubbish, we got joy and fun. People have been spoiled under Roman Abramovich. Where were you? Again, that's the truth. I think that has, Roman has conditioned, the Chelsea fans. His approach to solving problems had conditioned the Chelsea fans that we want a player, pay the money and get the player. And again, I think we have to recondition ourselves, to be able to deal with the new reality, which is we have owners who are profit focused. We have owners who for them, the club is business, first of all, before anything else, who'd be careful. Owners, who wouldn't just throw money at problems. We have to learn, come to terms with that new reality. The era of throwing money at problems has gone. So be adapt to the new era. So again, that's all I have to say. The Sterling is still good, but he's too expensive and past his prime. I think it's become better. That's how I want to see it. But we'll see what happens if Sterling and Jesus are good players. And did you think that Man City will sell them? That's a very good question. And it was somebody else there that said, besides both of them are not good enough to play for Chelsea. You could argue that too. But another argument is that they're better than what we have. And that's all we can do at this point. We should just go for them. Again, one thing...
I don't think people are looking at it the right way, though.
Mm-hmm. They're not.
Because here's the thing. Sterling, you're hearing about Sterling, possibly leaving. You're hearing about Jesus who wants to leave because he's not getting game time. And even Bernardo Silva wants to leave as well. They kept him for one more season, but he wanted to leave last summer. The way that they're looking at it right now is they signed Haaland. They also signed an Argentine young player, another forward, Julian Alvarez. So they need to, especially with Haaland being on the price that he was and the wages that he was granted, they need to offload some of those players who they don't really value. It doesn't mean that they're not good players. It's just that the way that Pep plays, they don't really suit it. And that doesn't automatically mean that they're not good players. But I mean, I can understand where that process is coming from. But it's not about because they're not good enough, he's selling them. It's that they don't suit the system. They want to leave because they're not getting the game time. In particular, Jesus, he isn't getting play time. And even when they were playing a false nine, he would only be playing one game here, and then the next 3 games he plays again. So you need to look at it from a way that it's not only the club wants to sell. And Pep says if you don't want to stay, you can leave. That's what he did with Torres when he wanted to leave, and he allowed it to happen. So
yeah,
You're not going to force players to
I
stay.
think for Pep, the moment he senses you don't want to stay, he lets you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So it's not about because look at that they're willing to let him go. It's because they want to leave, and Pep is not about keeping players against their will. He already did that once, and that was for Bernardo Silva. He's not
Mhm.
a manager who will force people to stay only because he wants them to stay. If they want to leave, they leave because there's players out there who can do the job as well, and they have the capabilities of finding those players. So it's not really a concern to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly try and catch up the chat before I come back here. I was expecting exactly what I expected Lee to do. He did that. I knew he was gonna respond with some funny stuff. He says we have Thiago Silva. He brings enough age. That's hilarious. Again, Lee, be kind of beat. Be kind to the man. I think, but I know you're joking the way you said it, but we need balance, though. I said buffering. What's buffering? The signings are buffering. Louvre, you let us know. And Louvre, nice to see you back here again. Always nice to see you. Farouk, yeah, I know you're back, and I think I've added you. Sorry if I took time. Again, let me see what I have here. Again, Just Viola talking to Lee says, yes, Sterling would do well in La Liga Serie A or Bundesliga. That's the truth. Why? Because he probably will find a lot of space there to operate like he likes to. But again, Sterling can also do well when playing against low blocks because he's good with his feet. He can dribble his way past out of tight spaces and do something with the ball. And right now we have 122 people watching, but we have just 74 likes. Please keep listening to what Stribia is telling you guys. Keep liking the video. And Just Viola, the queen of the house, and Stribia, queen of all streams, keep liking the video and keep subscribing to the channel if you haven't. We've gained nearly 20 subscribers today. We're shooting for at least 2,750 today. If we get to 2,800, that would be great. But please keep liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you haven't. We have just 23 more likes to get to 100 likes, and we can get there as soon as possible. I'm sorry, the screen is a bit slow, and I'm even trying to share TyTalk's YouTube channel, but my screen is slowing down, but I'll do that anyway. 68 likes, thanks, but come on, we can do better, says the queen of all streams. Nice to see you say that. Again, thank you again from the queen, super chat of £5. That's, again, I appreciate that. That's not easy. Like, again, you don't have to do that. I will always read your comments. And thank you for always supporting the channel. You've been a part of the channel since I had just 20 subscribers. So I sincerely do appreciate that. Again, thank you for the donation. Says, as regards Sterling, I think we have enough England folks in our team already. We have Mount, Reese, Benchewell, Odoi. Trust me, we don't want any more of them. Can you explain why that's a problem for you? I don't have an issue as long as the player is good. I don't care where they are from. Nice sticker, yeah, really nice sticker from the queen of the house says nice sticker from the queen of all streams. Yep, that's good to see. True Blue, I was sitting in okay, this is a conversation between them two. Since men are done cash up, yep, yeah, again, but we'll see what happens. Except we want our team to be England's team, and we wouldn't put up any serious. Okay, now I get your argument because you feel like the England team sucks. 27 likes, so yep, to 100 likes. And to Chelsea, yes, thank you for all the love. I think if Sterling doesn't work out in Chelsea, it will be hard to get rid of him because of his high wage. Oh, good argument. Because players that come in on a high wage, again, if they are approaching 30, and some of them, if they don't have anything to lose in terms of their international or allegiance or international career, they'd rather stay and earn money. We have a few of them who are not even seriously pushing to leave the club or take a wage cut to leave the club. Prime example being Drinkwater until he ran down his contract. Another example is Ross Barkley. He's never serious to leave. If he's been serious to leave, he'd leave the club by now. To again 5 months ago. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, did I read that right? Maybe 5 months old, I'm not sure. Again, let me see anything. Started 27 and he's just 25. Looked it up. Yep, again, I saw that on the screen. Raheem Sterling will not sign for Chelsea. Yep, we've agreed that may well be his camp pushing the narratives to get more money, Madrid, and he will wait until his contract runs out and then leaves on the free. That's a chance that happens. We think Jesus would own with us. I think let's see what happens if we get them. yes, I concur on a feeling feeling about links to Sterling. Yeah, it's absolute nonsense. Yep. Again, let me see. Again, that's just a conversation. I'm going to scroll to the bottom. Silva and Jesus are together with Brazil, so the agent may well be at work for us. You never know. Again, people keep liking the video. Just 22 more to reach 100. I love Chelsea, Emmanuel Innocent. Nice to hear. Always see people, confess their love for the club. We all do love Chelsea Football Club. 26 years. Yep. Again, YouTube. Any place we buy, we should try to sell in 3 years for profit. If players is too good to sell in 3 years, great. Else we sell for good money, still great. Again, it still makes sense. If you're not really working out, we'll sell you and then buy someone else that works for us. So I agree with that argument. I'm going to skip quite a lot, please. If I keep only reading until the end, the show ends, I'll not be able to catch up. But I don't think I've read anything from Lobby for Chelsea Academy has great future, and we need them more than the foreign players because they know they knew they were the way we train. They know the way we train. Yeah, again, another good argument there. Lee, I want a paternity test. Okay. Alan City Nunes, Chelsea Rumors again. Smash the like button, says the Added Time podcast night to see you here, brother. Let me see. Again, I'm gonna just move to the bottom. Chelsea fans, what does the brother say here? Oh, sorry, my screen is killing me. Other teams have been in again. You say this. That's the first thing you say every time you call me, but I get your frustration, brother. Let me see. I'm gonna skip to the very, very bottom. Blue morning to you too. Nice to see you here. No live in life, no limits. Says hopefully the new owner of Froyu isn't stingy, and for the purchase of players, it's entirely up to the coach. Yep, that's a good thing to hear. True, we can have him every other weekend. We can have him every other weekend. He argues. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the panel here. Faith Muinde says, I don't want those two. Let's look for someone else. Again, I'm going to go back to the panel and I'm going to start. Let's talk about Nkunku. And I'm going to start with you, LSC. How serious do you take the club's links to Nkunku? Because it doesn't look like it's gone beyond rumors. It's just been the rumors ever since. So, to your thoughts, do you think it's real, or do you think it's just rumors as that of Raheem Sterling? I'd say I trust his more because it's not like it's his agent trying to get more money from Leipzig. I think he has how many years? I think he has a few years more left on his contract. Your thoughts, LSE, if you're still there?
Yeah, I would say for Nkunku transfer, I won't be surprised if it's part of a shortlist. All right, so maybe the reason is being mentioned because it's part of a shortlist of the kind of profile that Chelsea may want. So I won't be surprised if the rumor is true. But one thing is clear: my desire to have Nkunku at Chelsea, is undeniable. So I want him here, but he doesn't want to come here. He doesn't want to be anywhere. He wants to be at PSG. That's the issue. His heart is there.
Can you tell us how you came to that conclusion?
Yeah, because that's the statement he's made. He always wants to be, go back to PSG. Whatever he's doing now is to impress PSG, so he can go back there. So that's the way I see it. And that is coming from his, from his camp. And if it's true that he really wants to go back to PSG, I don't think there's any point for us going for him. Because that's just going to make the transfer very, very complicated. Because RB Leipzig themselves, they want to make more money, all right, and coupled with the players' interest of not being in the Premier League at all, or being at any other club other than PSG. That will even make it more difficult. So maybe the hope would be because of his age, probably he will want to play for a different club, then later move to his dream club, which is PSG. He came from the academy, So you can imagine that, that's similar to a player like, say Mason Mount or something like that, assuming we sold him and he wants to come back, that kind of talk. So we can understand his affinity to PSG, but if we are really serious about it, then we can go all out for him. This idea of the two market signings that was mentioned at the beginning of when we started discussing these transfers, I don't know who they were referring to. Whether in terms of the markets, in terms of the amount paid, or in terms of the fan base that is going to increase and the sales of shirts that we're going to get more. So we don't know. So like I said before, I'm just going to wait. On the Koulibaly situation, that guy has been at. I wanted him at Chelsea, right? But he's been at Napoli for, I think, since 2014, right? He's been there. And to my understanding, he's only won the Coppa Italia. That's like equivalent to the FA Cup. All right? That's the only thing that guy has won there. So what is the incentive? Okay? Why is he not even choosing to go to Barcelona? Does he not think that he has a better chance of winning at Chelsea than compared to Barcelona? Because Real Madrid, they are doing their thing. So they are not ready to let up in La Liga. So I don't understand what the attraction to Barcelona is, because since he said, "Oh, I don't know, I didn't hear it from his mouth," all right, but since the news came out that he would prefer to go to Barcelona, it just makes me feel some kind of way. Like, come on, man, Chelsea is way ahead of Napoli. So you coming to Chelsea is supposed to be a step, in your career. You saw what your own brother Mendy has won in the short space of time that he's been at Chelsea, and what he could have won more, if not just for penalties, so things like that. I think if it's a matter of necessity, which it is, and is the only, and is part of the, and is at the top of the list of the profile we are looking for. Here's my argument. I want any person, if it's the midfield, whoever is at the top of the list, that's who I want us to go for. Do you understand? Not the second, not the third.
So finally, yeah, I get your argument there. We shouldn't be seeking, we should be looking for starters, those who will come in and compete with the players who have already in the positions that they play. I think we'll be better, we'll be stronger as a team. But here's what I want to ask you, LSG, if you don't mind. So the case of Nkunku, I want to be clear on what your thoughts are regarding the club's links to Nkunku. You think it's something serious, or you think it's all rumors at this point?
No, I think it's well, the level of seriousness will depend on what number he is on the list. All right. All right, because they will bring like maybe like an 8-man list, for midfielders, 8-man for defenders, 8-man for forwards and whatever, 8-man for right wings. That's why you keep hearing all these names be linked to us. Maybe they are just part of the profile list that we want. All right. So it depends on what number he is on that list, that will determine whether this rumor, whether it's true or not. But I have no doubt in my mind that we could be linked to him directly for it.
I think
how strong it is what I'm not sure of.
Yeah, there's no way to tell until the player is announced. For me, I think it's a link that makes sense, given that we need. He plays as a second striker, not as strictly as a winger, but he can play as a winger too. But I've come to terms after I wouldn't say some arguments with Triblu, with something I learned from his input, which I've taken my time to look at it, and it's a fact of the truth. We don't really need wingers in our team. If Thomas Tuchel is bent on playing with 3 at the back, because if we have wingers, traditional wingers like right wing, left wing in the team, we end up playing them as number 8s or number 10s, if you prefer, depends on the application. And it doesn't help. It doesn't help the players. I think it stifles their ability, if you want to phrase it that way. I think I would have argued that it makes sense, but here's something that came to mind. I think it was Fahim who brought up that I wouldn't say argument. He talked about it here, how Thomas Tuchel played him in a position you'd argue he wasn't happy to play it in a right wing back position, which you'd say, then the question I asked, would you want to come to Thomas Tuchel? I would say, I don't know, maybe he was just looking at, just all he wanted then was the opportunity, and he accepted to play there. But given that Thomas Tuchel has played them in the right wing back position, would you even want to come to Chelsea then to be played out of position? I'd say no. Because he's probably been looking at the players we have here, the issues they're having. Go ahead. You want to say something?
We've seen this movie before now, so we've seen Thomas play anyone in any position, wherever, depending on ability, depending on tactics, depending on how how he wants the game to go. But I still maintain with my position that the theory of the best system is not actually the problem. We just saw the women's team. Emma Hayes won the league with Terry at the back. She won the FA Cup with Terry at the back. She can swear with that Terry at the back, like she loves it. And she loves Thomas Tuchel in-game management. So these are the kind of people we should be listening to, people that understand the game, So I just think what we should be going for is replacing whatever we are losing at this moment now. And then look forward to see how they do and then see how we can rebuild. Personally, I'm perfectly ready to wait to see this team grow as long as we give the manager time, to become an institution just the way MIAs is. All the players know they have to obey whatever she says. They don't understand that, all right? And I also think that there are some people in the recruitment team for the women's team, that can maybe be promoted to the men's team or something like that. I don't know, because it seems to be getting things right, in terms of even the performance coach. They seem to be getting things right. So I would say our search for players, and the rebuild of our team should be the ultimate priority. Let's rebuild this team. Let's keep the manager for long term, and let's have a long sustained success instead of having them in patches. So I'm perfectly ready to wait, but we have to see this fan base. Can this fan base wait? Can they wait, one season without trophy? Can they? No, I don't think so. That's where we have the issues.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. And again, I don't know, Ty and Tobago, you guys should let me know if you're back. I want to quickly catch up with the chat and come back to the panel. Ty, are you back? Okay, it doesn't look like Ty is back, but I'm going to quickly, again, this is Ty Talks. Okay, I'm coming. I'll catch up with the chat and I'll come back to you. I'm going to say link to Ty's YouTube channel. So that's the link to Ty Talks YouTube channel. Please go check out his YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. He has just 201 subscribers right now. We can help him get to, at least 210 if you can. That will be fine. If you want to check out one of his best videos, believe me, you will like it. There's a link to Ty Talks YouTube channel. Please go check it out. Again, let me quickly catch up with the chat and I'll come back and speak with those on the panel. And I want to say thank you for LSG, even though he's at work, he's found time to come and talk to us. I sincerely do appreciate that. Again, but mostly TT, 10-year contract. It hardly happens these days. I doubt the club will take. Again, it's because if you're tying somebody down for that length in terms of years, I think usually the payoff in case if there's any fallout is usually huge. So it wouldn't make business sense for the club to tie him up for almost 10 years. It's dangerous, I must say. And here we say we're all looking forward to Sterling that way back. Yeah, again, that's the thing, because if Thomas Tuchel gets him, he may well deploy him there. But there's an argument for that also, which is, you could argue under Thomas Tuchel, the way he deploys his three at the back system, the primary responsibility of the wing backs is to attack. But then again, we falter defensively because they cannot defend or track back properly. But we'll see what happens. Again, if you haven't, we have just 16 more likes to get to 100 likes. And we have 103 people watching right now. So please keep liking the video. And first, it's important that I say thank you. Thank you so much for 84 likes. But keep liking the video if you haven't. And Sylvia is laughing, just as me is laughing at what what's his name? Chelsea Live 79 says. Kochila, can you add who cares as an option to the Nkunku poll? I think that's maybe another poll. We have a few players to talk about, and I will add that to it. Tuchel's priority is to make sure we have 72 wing backs on the books. That may well be the case. Again, maybe he has, wing backs and then turn all the wingers we have at the club, then add wingers into wing backs. But I hope that changes. Love you more than if we are born blue. 17 likes to go. Yes, the Queen is talking to you all. Know your styles. Yep. From argumentative to humorous to sarcastic. That's why the people that are always in the chat section of the Chelsea's Perspective shows are all brilliant people. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. Makes my day too. I must say, Strip here behave 10 years. 10 years. When he gets fired in 2 years, not paying him 10 years. What is if he? Yep, that's the truth. If he gets fired, behave is just a joke. I know you get that. 10 years is just too much. It's a risk. Nkunku is playing so well. How much is it worth? Around 77 plus. Again, it remains to be seen if Leipzig would be willing to sell him. I would have argued maybe it'd be easy for Leipzig to sell him to us if Timo Werner, again, you could argue Timo Werner a preference, a choice of club to join should he decide to leave Chelsea will be Bayern Munich, because their current coach, he had the best form of his life under Julian Nagelsmann, who now coaches Bayern Munich, so he may well decide to go to Bayern Munich. They never said to me, again, apologies on behalf of True Blue. I know he doesn't mean to insult you. Yeah, I won't call you out, boy. Okay, calm down. He never means to insult you. I love the post, Coach. Thank you very much, my brother Declared. How are you doing? The post helps us to find out what the fans think. But that's no guarantee that we're not looking at the player or old man who cares. Kana is trailing 4-1 to Japan. Okay. That's not good. Maybe it's a friendly. It's nothing. If it's not a friendly, you let me know. I think it's a friendly, so it doesn't matter. The coach may well be experimenting. Never diss me ever again. This is why the academy players will always have a special place in my heart, because they want to play for us. I don't want any missionaries who only see us as a stepping stone. Again, you could say that. Yosef Aki, an example, EPA Trump says, Tuchel cannot use the word wing without back in the same sentence, because he loads of trouble. Yep, I get the argument here. Right now we have 87 people watching, just 13 more likes to get to 100 likes. Keep liking the video, people. Keep liking the video. Show some love, and also share the stream on whatever social media platform that you have presence to help us reach more people, and also keep telling more people about the channel. We're really growing, and you all have been part of the process. You are all absolute legends. So thank you. Thank you again. We will get there. And please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Says that man becomes gods with a spinner. Yeah, Chelsea for Lives. Again, it says Emma owns formation. What formation does she actually play? Let me know. I think Louisa, whenever she has the time to stop being on the panel, will educate us more on the women's team. So Strippy, I'm asking you, what formation that Emma Hayes really plays? I want to know, please, because I don't know. Transfer window opens today. Yep, the domestic transfer window. Let me see anything else. I'm going to skip quite a lot to catch up with everybody for English transfers. Okay, thank you for explaining that. No, we all cannot spell. I think it was the Queen of the House, Just Viola, shamed me publicly for misspelling Mendy's name. But that's okay. I'm fine. Yeah, only half open. So the remaining half will open on the first. Here we go again. Emma Hayes plays 4 at the back to Women football is a totally different game. Strangely, we were conceding in all three. Okay, she approaches it differently. Okay, let's see. And please don't forget to check out Thai Talks YouTube channel. I've shared the link here. There you go. You have the link there. You make sure to go check it. Again, she plays loads. I've given up. Oh, not just one formation. Okay, 3. Okay, 4, 5. CFM. Okay. Again, she's dynamic if you want to answer, or unpredictable if you prefer. I always said I didn't like the way Tuchel had players out of position. That was never good. I like Thomas Tuchel, but I don't think he helps to play players out of position. It doesn't help. And none of them have actually been brilliant when being played out of position, except you could argue when he played Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the right wing back position, but his primary responsibility was to invert and support the midfield. So you could argue that's a different case. Pep replaced his entire back line in the same window. We keep on creating excuses. Let the manager identify the player he needs and go for it. And again, I think we can do that also and get rid of the players that cannot play the system. Yeah, let's see what happens. No limits. Shush, you're not allowed to say that. Okay. I get the argument. For all AMS does in defense is she's born to attack. I think her team is quite attacking, and I really do like that. Strip won't like that. I think Strip is fine. She's mature enough to understand. JJ, if you say so. Again, I'm going to skip quite a lot to get to the bottom of everything. If I miss your comment, apologies. Says, let me say right here says, Tuchel looks committed. For all we could know, for what you could know, there may be more to the personal stuff behind the scenes, and he may have moved on from that. That's a chance that may have happened, but I don't know. Pep says 1 CDM, then 2, and none again. Another argument. Imma is adaptable. I agree. She's very adaptable. That's why she's probably doing well in winning games. Like you could snap your finger like this. She's won a game. Simon Philip Chelsea have sent Koulibaly a 10 million net per season offer. He's valued as also that confirms it. If that's from Simon Philip and the other guy we saw there. So I hope we get him. I'm agreeing with no limits, not arguing. Yep, yeah, value, it's different. So now coming back to the panel, Tobago, are you still there, brother? And Ty, let me know when you're back. The question I want to ask you is this. You haven't talked about Alex to Nkunku. Let me know what you think. You think it's legit or do you think it's all nonsense?
I think it's legit.
Okay, so why do you think it's legit? And he came out to say he's flattered by all the links. To me, since it's still rumors, I'd say it's all nonsense. But you have your reasons, and I want to hear them.
Remember, last time we talked, I've told you that if we are remaining in the same system, we need to play. You need to buy players that are familiar with the system. So Nkunku already at Leipzig, they play 3-4-2-1. So already he knows this system. So him playing at Chelsea won't take him a lot of time to settle in because he already knows the system. It's all about the different tactics from different coaches. So I think Nkunku will do well if only we are playing the system. We won't change the system, I mean. So being linked with the player that is familiar with the system is perfect for me. There's no need to buy a player that won't be familiar with the system, and then we end up crying, say it's another Lukaku and stuff.
Yeah, I disagree with this argument from Tonio254, who says Nkunku is too expensive for our new owners. We are the new RB Leipzig. I don't think so. I think Boehly, in one of his first interviews, he understands that winning is important. Even if you're profit focused, your team is got to win to attract big name sponsors. You have to be in the Champions League. You have to win the Premier League. You have to win all competitions. Almost all competitions you participate in winning is really defines you as a big club and attracts big name sponsors, so you make more money. If you're not winning, it'd be useless. So I disagree with this argument. No, we're not the new RB Leipzig. No, we're Chelsea, and I think we can actually. There's a chance we do better under him. I sincerely, deep down, I do love Roman Abramovich, but the truth is, we're gonna do more. We're not going to be spending recklessly right now. I know we're being spoiled by Roman, the way he loved the club. To him, it wasn't about profit. To him, it was just about, the club becoming one of the biggest clubs in the whole world. And you could argue he's achieved that for us. But under Todd Boehly, I think he'd spend money, but he'd spend strategically. And I do appreciate it that he recognizes that winning is important. Ty, let me know if you're back on the panel. I don't think Ty is on the on the panel at this point. Imagine the hate. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, if you're a moderator and you're banning people, timing them out, you're gonna get a lot of hate. What do we reckon about Lukaku? Back to Inter swap for Skriniar and Cash. Again, we did talk about that. Yeah.
I have a bad feeling. I have a bad feeling about this Lukaku deal going to Inter. Remember, there was a report saying they're only gonna sell Lukaku if the business side of it it will benefit Chelsea. So what if Inter Milan said, you know what, we won't be able to afford Lukaku, and then they're already in talks with Dybala. So, what if he remains? But I don't want him to remain.
You're saying what if he remains at Chelsea?
Yes, because they said they will do the deal with Inter if it makes business sense. So what if Inter Milan and then saying like, look, we no longer need Lukaku?
There's a chance they say that. But there's also a chance that they really do want him. But then again, we're hearing things that makes the whole thing sound like absolute nonsense. I think I heard somebody that even said that the Inter director said no, all here in the media is just nonsense. And again, why do I think that's the truth? And again, let's look at that. And let's also talk about Petr Cech's comments.
Yes. I saw the video. I mean,
again, and he didn't. You could argue he didn't specifically say, well, he still do well at Chelsea, right? You could argue that he didn't specifically say that.
Yes.
Why he didn't say that? That's a chance. He means, well, if he ends up staying with us, we still have a chance. There's still hope that he's going to do well. Because the truth is, you don't want him to stay and then be useless. You'd have a 100 million plus player sitting on the bench, So he had. I think he worded his his response carefully, and that's
my
the
other
best
question,
way. Because he cannot come out openly and say, yes, we're looking at getting him out of the club. It doesn't make sense. It wouldn't help matters if at the end of the day he ends up staying. So, but my point is looking at Petr Cech's comment, looking at the comment from Inter's president on everybody who's talked, it doesn't look like it just, the whole thing I'm hearing of late just sounds as if we're actually not talking with Inter regarding them taking Lukaku, because it doesn't make sense. We owe them 70 million plus, and they want money because they have to show some measure of profit at a certain date. So that's why to look at it. Tell me how they are gonna. Tell me how they're gonna. How they would, structure the deal to make sure that Inter still makes some profit, even after paying us how many? We're asking how much? We're asking 20 million or how much? I'm not sure for the loan. So it doesn't really make sense if you sit down and look at it. You go, okay, what's going on here? Go ahead. You wanted to say something.
And like we saw from the reports from Di Marzio, a journalist from Italy, saying Lukaku has been calling his former colleagues, left and right, wanted to go back in Inter. But Medlo, the closest source of Chelsea, never said something like that. He didn't know nothing about that. So sometimes reading too much on journalists will get you into trouble. So, but we wait and see until the official statement at the club saying we're selling Lukaku to Inter Milan. Because anyway, we'll see, man.
Yeah. I think even if this is true, I don't think we've ever seen anything as complicated as this. I have to be honest with you. I don't think it's that simple.
It's complicated.
Yeah. Let me ask the chat quickly. Maybe after this question, I'll ask the chat the question regarding what they think about Lukaku to Inter rumors, because it just doesn't make sense. Inter wants money. It can, and from what I'm hearing, the other people are arguing and not happy how we're going to be paying Lukaku 200,000 per week to score goals for Inter Milan. Yeah, how does this sound? So it just doesn't make sense. And Inter are broke. But that's, by the way, they're looking to sell. I'm going to come back. I think we have Farouk now. Farouk, let us know what you think. The Lukaku to Inter rumors, do you think is the truth, or you think it's absolute nonsense?
I think it's true, actually. I believe the rumors are true. Lukaku really wants to leave.
Why do you think it's true?
Because he was asked at the press conference at the Belgium international game. He was asked about the Inter rumor, and he said he won't speak. That means there's something is going on at the back. If there wasn't anything going on, he would have said, "Oh, it's all rubbish. It's all nonsense," and he would have denied it. But the fact that he decided not to speak, that means there's something going on behind the scene.
And do you think it's something that makes sense given everything we're hearing? Does it make any atom of sense to you?
For me, it's quite stupid.
Because to me, if you ask me, that's usually the kind of situation where I say, what kind of sense does that make? To me, it doesn't make any sort of sense, but go ahead.
Yeah, because I believe Lukaku wants to leave and Inter broke. So they kind of, we've seen the Italian press try to bring some kind of deals. The swap, the loan that Chelsea has to pay part of his salaries, different kind of deal, an exchange with Bastoni, Lautaro, Skriniar. Yeah, we've seen the Italian press bring quite a lot, but I think the major problem is the fact that Lukaku had decided to leave after one season, despite saying he was coming back to his club.
Okay, how do you know he's decided to leave? How do you come to that conclusion? Just let me know.
I believe with what happened during the season, with how everything has gone, and with his decision not to speak out when asked about the same situation during the current international window, means there's something going on at the back, and that has brought me to the conclusion that he really wants to leave. He really is pushing to leave Chelsea. And according to DiMaggio, he reported that Lukaku has been sending messages to the Inter team.
We saw that too, but there's no way to confirm whether that's the truth or not. And to me, it remains all speculations, and we'll see a transcript of the messages or see some of those messages.
Yes. So obviously, I would want to believe 75%. I would believe he wants to leave. But sorting out a kind of a deal with Inter we paid £97 million. And even if we're going to take cuts from £97 million, I wouldn't want anything less than £80 million if we're going to set them back. But Inter can pay that, that's sure. Inter can pay that. So it will be a kind of maybe a loan, and then the report from Italy is saying they are proposing a swap with Lautaro or Bastoni. But Bastoni just said yesterday that he's not leaving Inter. So we have an option between Lautaro Martines and then Milan Skriniar. So I believe if I'm going to choose between the two, I would choose Lautaro Martines. He would fill in as the striker, and I don't know how the deal is going to work, but I believe if it's going to be straight swap, I believe Chelsea should not be involved in paying anything in this deal.
I don't think you're getting any stress swap with Inter Milan because they need money. I've said that. I hope you get my point from that perspective.
They need money, of course.
Yeah, so because they need money, I don't think they'd agree to any straight swap deal with Lukaku, which means they're forfeiting. If they do a straight swap, They're forfeiting 70. They will be forfeiting 70 million plus. So to me, it just doesn't make sense in terms of straight swaps. I think we'd have to give them some cash actually. If you're talking about Lautaro Martines, or for instance, which will be a perfect fit for Thomas Tuchel's system, they'll probably be asking you the whole money they want for him. The look at something else I've heard. Chelsea want them, to put pen to paper on a deal that they will be obliged to buy Lukaku at the end of the season, but they don't want that. They want an option, and with an option, I can swear by anything you want me to that at the end of the season they say, we don't want him because he's going to be 30 plus. And at 30 plus,
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, and at 30 plus, he has no selling value. So they wouldn't want to risk, they'd be stupid to sign the contract with an obligation to buy. But that's, by the way, let me catch up and I'll come back to the panel. I think we'll switch to Ousmane Dembele next to know where we're at with that one. Liam Lane says, I have to head off. Now, thank you for another great chat, coach, and all the industry. Nice to see you here, brother. I hope things are well at your end. I sincerely do hope so. Let me quickly catch up. And if you're watching, please, we have just 3 more likes to get to 100 likes. Again, thank you. Thank you for 97 likes already. And if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to like the video. And also, we're at 2,749 subscribers. Just one more to get that 2,750. I know we'll do even more by the end of the show. I'd love to see Lukaku fight for his place, but he doesn't seem to want to be here. That's the most important thing. Do I like him to succeed at Chelsea? Yes, I do want him to succeed at Chelsea. But when it's not working, you just got to let it go. And again, it doesn't help, but it creates more problems at the club. Again, Lee, it's like give us hopes, and then it's taken away. I'm not, but I guess sorry, it was money oriented. Yeah, okay. 3 computers, only 2 pounds. Only just 2 more likes. I think she's saying, please, someone must take him. It's not that easy. Who wants to take him? It's a risk. Again, if anybody wants to take him from Chelsea, then no, probably you could argue we're desperate to get rid of him. And you see clubs asking us, okay, if you want me to take him, you're going to pay half of his salary or three-quarter of his, third of his salary, which is a lot of money. Again, but that's, by the way, let me see again. Who is a monkey? He said that. Yeah, that's the truth. Let's just see him leave. Says, Lukaku saga will give me PTSD for years to come. It's not easy to forget. That's just the truth. Imagine being him at the bridge. Yeah, even him would want to leave at this point because I'm sure he's following everything that's going on now, no matter how you see it. So he wouldn't want to remain. Sibia, nobody gets 10 years. Not Club, Pep. They are both due to sign extensions. Not Ancelotti. I love you. I'm just an old head of reasons. Again, good argument there. I am in London next week, so I will park my car in front of the shed and put Lukaku in the boots. I am here. Oh my goodness. He's there walking zombie. He shouldn't come back to Chelsea. It wouldn't make sense. And I think that will annoy the fans a lot. Like saying, I forget it true. Yeah. Okay, Lee. I want happy here done enough. I want people who are happy and willing to fight. It hasn't really worked. I'm going to skip quite a lot of this. Imagine Chelsea, Raheem Sterling as a wing back. Wow, defenders will be scared. Then what happens defensively from our own end? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Lee, anyone got Beckham's phone number? He might have him at Inter Miami. There's a chance Beckham would want him to them, but I don't think Lukaku will be willing to go to the U.S. now. I think maybe later in his career because he likes the U.S. He has good relationship with Jay-Z. Again, and some hip-hop stars. I think U.S. will probably see him as a player in the MLS very soon. We cannot pay more than $100K for another team. They're asking for 200. So you're cutting it into half. That's one thing. That's why. Here's the thing. I think you could argue into sense the sense that we're desperate, if you want to say it that way, to let him go. So they know as in terms of negotiation, they are on a more solid ground than we are. That's just the truth. I think Inter one Lukaku Martinez partnership again. That's another question. That's why I'm thinking us getting Martinez is even near impossible, because you could argue the season before we signed Romelu Lukaku, he had Martinez, he had Hakimi, and those two guys are two great creators, and they created quite a lot for him combined. So Hakimi isn't there anymore, and will it make business sense to bring in Lukaku and not have Martinez? Even it doesn't make sense, because there's no guarantee that I'm able to achieve that is replicate his form in the past before we signed him with those two guys available. We need a CB, so why not take a screen here? It remains to be seen whether, again, I've presented my argument. Why are we going for Skriniar? Why he plays second fiddle to Bastoni, except if we feel like he's good enough and will come and do a good enough job, or even maybe the reason is just he's not gotten enough chance at Inter Milan. But we'll see what happens. You don't give this away asking Chelsea. Yeah, again, I'm going to skip quite a lot. I'll try to catch up again. It says, JJ says that the problem with Inter is the wage. He's on a high wage. Inter can get Lukaku and loan from us, but we'll be paying nearly all his wages, because up to 200. That it's annoying to hear that we're paying, and if he goes and starts scoring there, and we're the ones paying 200 of his salary, it will break my heart. But that's by the way. Sibi says, I give you because you're brilliant for Chelsea. Thank you very much. I sincerely do appreciate the support, the donations, tribute. I can't thank you enough. Unlike some humans, again, we're all different. We should give them Lukaku and money for a player. What kind of business sense would that make? Let me ask you that question, Odwa. We're owing them 70 already. And then you give them Lukaku. I think, how do you start structuring the deal? I don't think it will be that simple. I'm going to skip everything and get to the bottom. The Lukaku problem is Lukaku. That's another good way to phrase it. I think that's enough for me to read that. Reported CFC wants a 20 million loan for Lukaku. He's already said he will take a wage cut. Okay, but why are we hearing that we're going to be paying 200 for him to go score goals for them? So that's what I'm saying. It is everywhere. That's just the truth. Yeah, thank you for 107 likes. That's not easy. We sincerely do appreciate that. But if you're watching and you haven't liked the video, please do like the video. That will go a long way. And if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe to the channel. 97 million, 97.5 million. 300 plus a week, and you cannot change to suit the system. That's another question you have to go. You have to go ask Thomas Tuchel himself. I don't know why. Again, that's another argument. I ask you, change it to the team's detriment. It depends on how you want to see it. Lukaku does not fit into Tuchel's plans. So again, whenever we talk about Lukaku, I blame whoever asked us to go get him in the first place. I blame Thomas Tuchel for accepting, because there's no chance the club will sign him without him saying yes. I blame the scouts for not saying anything, for not understanding Thomas Tuchel's approach to the game in the first place. Richardson taking to Twitter to angrily deny he's leaving Everton. Thankfully, so we're not going to get into that. Thankfully, indeed. Rather seeing a love and new. Okay, again, I'm going to run from that one, and I'm going to get to the bottom of the whole thing. Maybe let me go back to the panel immediately. Coming back to the panel, let's talk about Ousmane and Dembele. And I'm going to start with you. Tobago, you still there, brother? Okay. How about you, Farouk? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Let me start with you. From everything you've heard about Ousmane Dembele, where do you think we are with that deal?
I think Dembele himself might want a reunion with Thomas Tuchel. So I believe we should be able to complete this deal. But yesterday, I learned that Barcelona are still trying to organize some meetings with his agent. So that might be the cause of the delay.
Trying to get him to stay?
Yeah, exactly. That might. But this morning, I heard they have cancelled all the meeting. So in the hand, which means we have the edge. we have the edge on this deal. But I believe the transfer window has opened today, but free transfers won't be able to. You can't complete any free transfer until July 1st.
That is
So
for non-domestic transfers.
yeah. Even any free transfer, you can complete them until July 1st because the current deal ends by June 30. Sorry.
Okay.
So
Let me
I
ask you
believe
this. Let me ask you this quickly before I continue. I wanted to ask you again. Let me ask you this quickly. Do you speak Hausa?
no. I speak
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay, go ahead because I heard you say it. So go ahead.
Yeah. I speak Hausa a little bit actually. I can say I'm a passive speaker of Hausa.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I do a bit. Go ahead, but go ahead though.
So my concern about Dembele is the fact that it will be the injury. That will be my problem about him. His injury history is not so encouraging, and that might be a little bit of problem for the Premier League. But in recent months, he's been very fit and he's been very consistent playing at Barcelona. So I believe if he is able to maintain this form and this injury record, we are having a hell of a player. But if he is gonna be an injury prone, we'll be having another Christian Pulisic.
Here's the thing: in terms of his that's the concerns for his injury record. I think I'm not really concerned. He has not been injured for a while, and if you ask people at Chelsea supporters, or people who understand the club very well, I think they'd argue that I think we have a better medical team that will take good care of him. And again, maybe he's learned a better way to manage his fitness since he got married. I'm hearing, and I think who was that said something like this on the panel here that marriage can change things. Yeah,
exactly. I would suggest that too.
Yeah,
because
so
I believe after the marriage,
ahead.
maybe he becomes more responsible after the marriage. So probably why he's now more getting injured and he's quite getting better every game. You see it the way he plays, the way he moves the ball. It's the kind of winger we need. But those concerns, we can just conclude that the injuries are gone and so all of other issues are gone. We can't conclude at this moment. But I believe he will be a good signing for us. And on a free transfer, we are getting him. On a free transfer, we are getting him at. It's a bargain for us, I must say.
Here's what I think about the Dembele to Chelsea rumors. I think you could argue for obvious reasons. There are things when you look at them. There are things when you look at them, you can come to the conclusions that I think it's going to happen. After all, first of all, he's never he's had the best form of his life under Thomas Tuchel, and Thomas Tuchel is at Chelsea Football Club. And also, again, he hasn't been able to replicate that form since that is after with Thomas Tuchel. He stopped playing under Thomas Tuchel. Plus, we were hearing again if we're hearing that he's rejected PSG, and also we're hearing stories that PSG has pulled out of the race to secure his signature. So with that, I think there's only one destination that comes to mind, which is Chelsea Football Club, because Thomas Tuchel is at the club. But again, we'll see what happens. It remains to be seen whether it's the truth or not. Tobago, let me know when you're back on the panel. I want to ask you your thoughts on what you think about the Dembele to Chelsea. Okay, what do you think about the Dembele to Chelsea links?
Ousmane Dembele is my dream signing. I like players who can use both feet, who can dribble, who can take on players, create a lot of chances for his teammates. So Dembele for me is my dream signing. I'll be mad if we won't be able to sign Dembele. But again, a player who is a free agent, oh my gosh, his wages, he'll demand too much wages. So let's wait and see. But Dembele, come on.
I think given what he can offer, but I want to know your thoughts because what we're here to figure out who's really coming to Chelsea and all the players we've discussed. I think I agreed that Raheem Sterling story is nonsense. Nkunku, maybe there's interest, but there's nothing serious yet. But for Dembele, I think for obvious reasons, there are factors that can help you come to the conclusions that he may well be coming to Chelsea. So you haven't told us whether you think he's coming to Chelsea or not.
The transfer business is crazy. One day he can come to Chelsea, another day other team can hijack the deal. So him had he had a good relationship with Thomas Tuchel. So I think that's an advantage for us. If Tuchel really needs him, he'll call him left and right. So please come to Chelsea. We have a good project for you for here. So let's wait and see. But I think Dembele is 50-50 chance because of his free agent. PSG can come with huge wages for him. So we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing out there regarding Ousmane Dembele to Chelsea, the reports have been conflicting. I think it was DJ was here he wasn't on the panel. I think he was in the chat. He posted something regarding how PSG has pulled out of the deal. And then I followed DJ, I followed all his tweets. And then he posted something a few days ago, even yesterday, saying that PSG are back in the race to secure the signature of Ousmane Dembele. But the previous thing he told us here in the chat was that PSG pulled out because their former director of football, was it Leonardo, or was it, I think Leonardo left the club, but the new director of football doesn't want him. But now again, we're hearing they want him. You could argue, there's a chance that because he hasn't joined us yet, because it's not official, nothing is completed, he's still under contract at Barcelona, that's a chance that PSG may well snap him up. So
yes,
I think go ahead.
Yes, again, coach, his contract ends until month end, so he still have a lot of chance to negotiate with other teams. So I think he will value his options until the month end. So also, as we said before, we rather say is a Chelsea player until they announce it. So anything can happen.
Anything can happen, yeah. As long as he's still under contract with the starting club, you cannot say you signed a player until especially again, we've used the example of Williams, who I think I don't remember if he's had his medical already at Tottenham, but ended up joining Chelsea Football Club. In the case of Ousmane Dembele, he hasn't even, you could argue he hasn't signed anything for us. So we should be careful how we suck up to what's out there. And I think somebody who was trying to explain away Grimes, reporting that Dembele has been done, something like that. There's no guarantee. And again, I think it was my brother, Eric Blue, I think so, who argued that when I asked him which of the deals he thinks Chelsea will be able to complete for us, he says Dembele, was he Eric? I'm not sure. But the person says because he's coming on. It was Eric. Says because he was coming on a free. The truth is because he's coming on a free makes it even more complicated. There's a sign-on fee involved. And he's coming on a high wage. So again, that's a chance the club would want him to take a pay cut, because they believe he'd want to come to play under Thomas Tuchel again, maybe to rediscover the form, that he showed under Thomas Tuchel at Dortmund. That's a chance also the club would want to put a clause on his contract that gets him, to do something regarding his past, his, whatever it is that he did in the hotel room with Antoine Griezmann. There's a chance the club will say, okay, you must put out another statement. I know you've apologized before. We want you to do it again, because the truth is that remains a PR issue, a serious PR issue for Chelsea Football Club, given all the club stands for. So it's not something you can just easily be swept under the rug. Which, if you ask me, I'd argue his past may well be the reasons why he hasn't come to Chelsea since even when we had the opportunity, when we heard that we were talking to him. The club may have been reluctant to go for him given those reasons. But that's, by the way, I believe that people change, and maybe his wife has brought him some luck. He hasn't even, he's not been injured for a while now, and he's doing quite well. And believe me, I think he's a better person, if you ask me. And that incident may have been an ignorant mistake, if you want to see it that way. But that's, by the way, Ty, coming to you. As for me, again, I'm looking at the chat, the poll in the chat. Dembele to Chelsea deal, 58% says chose the word close. You could argue close, which simply means it's not final, and that's a chance he still goes to another club. 21% says completed, and 21% also say all rumors and nothing as serious. Ty, coming to you, your thoughts on the Ousmane Dembele links to Chelsea Football Club and all the conflicting reports that we've seen, in a past few days. Did we lose Ty again? Ty, are you there?
No, I'm here. I
Go ahead.
didn't
Your
hear if you
thoughts,
said my name. Yeah. I mean, it's something that happens every summer, and like I was saying earlier, is with new ownership, with American ownership, the narrative that will be formed is that they're going to be coming in to make a statement to prove to the fans that they're going to do something. However, we've seen over the past summers where I remember this summer in particular where we were linked with Coutinho. He didn't even come to Chelsea. He didn't even leave Barcelona at that time. Now, the thing is with Dembele, there is truth in that. You cannot deny that, because I mean he was in England to speak to Tuchel. His wife posted pictures of them in England. So I mean it's something that kind of proves that there's some linkage there. The thing is with these other reports, these reports are being formed because I mean the media have to speak about something. They have nothing to speak about regarding the club, so they have to make up these little stories to say that Chelsea are reportedly in for this player, and then when you check into it, it becomes dissected, and when it's dissected, you hear that they haven't even spoken to his representatives. So you have to be careful, and that's why with those fans that are eager to see players come in, they have to be careful because these news will pop up out of the blue, no pun intended, and as a result, it can get you excited when there's nothing to be excited about, which is why I need to go back myself. I need to go back to the attitude of until I see the player pulling up the shirt and the club make a statement saying we're pleased to announce that such and such has joined Chelsea on whatever amount of year contract. That's when you believe it, or when it's close to being finalized. That's when you do it, because we're being linked with a port. We're being linked with Bastoni and players like that. Every player that's doing good with the countries are being linked with us, and that's just the common thing. The club that is looking to get better, team that is struggling in the attack, they're going to be linked with every attacker possible. Any attacker who appears who could probably do something, but at the time, their club won't want to let them go. So you have to be careful about it. But for me, I'm used to these reports coming out that Chelsea are looking at Neymar returns to Tuchel's team. Those little things like that, you have to be careful because these little things that may pop up will form a new type of narrative surrounding these players, and then it will bring fans to a level where, oh my goodness, we could actually get this player, and then at the end of the window they'll be left disappointed because they're saying, how were we linked with this player and the club didn't do it, not knowing that these reports were not even true. The club wasn't even looking at those players. So you have to be careful about it.
Yeah. And so your overall conclusion is that it's just close. You say close, or you say just nonsense. You could just say, because that's again, you could argue.
It depends. It depends. Just
so which should I take from you? If you were in the chat, which of the options would you pick?
Well, what are the options? I need to look at it.
We have close, we have complicated, we have completed, we have all rumors, nothing serious.
I would probably say it's complicated because some of them, I mean, sometimes they'll guess and then out of the blue you just see that they're actually in for it because sometimes they do guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's probably complicated.
Again, I think if you listen to what's going on, I think Grimes is still defending her reporting that the deal is done. Let's see what happens. And they say she's done something similar in the past where she, days before all this get what's happening, she's come out and say this deal is done, and then it ends up being the truth. But we'll see what happens. Again, let me try and catch up with the chat. Dembele must join TT. I'd like to see that reunion. I was one of those who were really concerned about his past. But like Bobby said here, it's something that you can, put out be proactive in terms of seeing things from a PR perspective, and then get him to say something. You can always deal with such situation and then find closure. I know closure, from the club's own perspective, but opposition clubs will always come asking questions. Or the media who hates us. But that's, by the way, says, have I read this? No, I haven't. Dembele wants a high pay and a longer contract to stay. Barca wants him to stay and are preparing new deal for him to sign. Unless Chelsea deal sounds better than Barca, he is staying at Barca. Here's the thing, where the rumors that he may well stay and remain at Barca doesn't make sense is this. First of all, Barca are broke. I think I have every right to say it like that. They really do not have the money. That's the truth. Now, we're hearing, if the rumors are true, that they are asking players to take a pay cut. And we're hearing also they're planning on selling some players to get the money to be able to buy the players they want to buy. And Dembele is on a high wage, and do you think you'd get him to take a pay cut? No. He's experienced Barca already. It's not like all the players who are outside, like Lewandowski, like what's his name? Koulibaly, who's, made clear. Who? Sorry, you said something.
Christensen, Frank Kessie.
Christensen, exactly. All the players who's made clear their intention to join Barcelona, notwithstanding the fact that they are going through some financial problems. So again, Dembele, you could argue he has experienced Barcelona. Now he wants to leave. I don't see him agreeing to take a pay cut while other clubs can give him exactly what he's earning or even more. So it's just the argument. I don't think it makes sense to argue that he may well remain at Barca. I don't see that happening. But that's, by the way, says Viola cannot remove. I think he's talking about the spam there. I think what the first thing you do is to remove entirely and not to time out. Timeout doesn't help because they're not here. Phil Loves makes more fun. Yep, exactly. Please, people, thank you for 116 likes. You guys are absolute legends, and we've gained up to nearly 20 subscribers today. We're approaching 2,700 likes. So reaching 3,000. We're approaching 2,800 likes. So reaching 3,000 subscribers. Sorry, isn't far-fetched. Right now, we're at 2,752 subscribers. But keep liking the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let me see what Stripia says here. It says, again, it's about TT. Yep, she makes a good argument. TT made him, in fact, love some. Yep, I'd like to see. That's why I want to see that reunion, because he's had the best form of his life under Thomas Tuchel. So I think he'd be able to replicate that. And for a while, he has gotten injured. So I'd say, yes, let's bring him to the club. Wages will be high, but you're getting an 18 million to 100 player on a free. So that balances the whole thing. The money you would have spent getting him balances the whole thing. And that usually makes players who are this good or living on a free to be greedy on some occasions, because they know the value you're getting. So they in return ask you for even more wages because they know you give it to them. But that it depends on how much we agree to pay him. If you agree to pay him up to 350, we have a problem at hand. Even with 300, we have a problem at hand, because we're trying to start negotiations with Mason Mount and Reece James. And how much do you think they'd be asking for? Do you think they'd be comfortable with 200 if they hear you paying Dembele 300? So that's where that's why I've always argued the Dembele deal is probably going to be the most complicated. We'll get done this window. I'd be surprised if it becomes the first player we announce. We've announced him before, Jules Koundé. but we'll see what happens. Here we have. I hope. I hope Dembele. Have I read this? Where this will be? Okay, I've read that. I hope Dembele hasn't married Amber. No, she needs money. I didn't know. No, I get the joke. I think he hasn't. Okay, true. Then have to try something else by the time one is reported. It takes more time to remove the rest. Okay, that's regarding what they were talking about the spam up there. Okay, I'm 23, got time possibly. Yeah, okay. Let me quickly catch up with everything. Most naked people I know have nerves. It takes some nerves to actually go naked in public or wherever you are. The latest is PSG wants him, according to Fabrizio Romano. That's why I think those in the chat has made they selected the best option. 48% still says close. Only 18% says completed. 33% says all rumors, nothing serious. That may well, but I think you could say it's close, but it's close doesn't mean PSG cannot, snatch him up. They will well be able to do that. I hope he doesn't demand ridiculous wages. Greed is not good. Again, as much as it is business for the club, it is also business for the players themselves. Now that I know many, I understand. The conversation in this chat can be very, very delicious to read. Sorry, I had to be diplomatic. Diplomatic is what you do because at least you're the queen of all streams and you're the mod here, so you have to be diplomatic to stop people fighting. Hi, Blue family, greetings from where? Chris, nice to see you here. I hope you're doing well. This is not your first time here, I know. I'm going to skip some comments here and get to the bottom. Pakin, do you think a move for Richarlison will happen? Well, I don't think it will happen, and thank goodness, because I don't like him. I don't think he'd work at Chelsea, and he's come out open, like True Blue said, and said the links to Chelsea isn't true. 116, make it simple, make it 120, make it a round number. Thank you, Queen, for saying that. We're 118 now, and you guys are absolute legend. Thank you for that number. It is not easy. Barca unwilling to offer longer contracts to Dembele due to injuries. However, they want him to stay. I think they want him to stay because he's good. They don't want to offer a long-term contract on the wage he is on right now. It's simple because they're broke, no matter how you see it. So I'm going to try to catch up with some comments right here. I know the Queen will understand if I skip her comments. That's not a problem. Reunions are overrated. That may well be the case because we've seen it not work before. But if you elaborate, I'd like that. Real James says Barcelona is broke. They are. We all know that. They even renting. I think it was Mikhail that sent me something showing they rent their arena for weddings to make money. Tony, again, yep. Let me see. Oh my goodness, I get that. They need to send that. Parkin, who took on Twitter to deny his living. Yep, he's denied his living Everton. So that ends that story. We're not going to get into it. No, New Camp is hosting weddings. Yep, so they can make money. Yeah, but go check it. I didn't just say that. And people will pay tons of money to wed at the New Camp because it's a historical ground, if you want to say that. Again, anything else there, they also say we're signing 200 players. Yep, we're being linked to every player on planet Earth. Innovation Solutions. Why is it that Chelsea can do a quick deal with anyone we want to sign? See, Liverpool cannot, so to speak. Example, they do sharp. Yeah, I get that. I remember we were under restrictions that didn't allow us sign players. What's wrong about Dembele is he wants to join the Blues or not. There's no telling what he wants to do. We're just putting 2 and 2 together and coming to the conclusion that he wants to join us. Want Dembele, I want him in London. I hope to see him in London just like we saw Juice Koundé. But Innovative Solutions banned during deal on 30th May. Yeah, exactly. I wanted to say that, but I'm tired of saying it anyway. Oh, babes, like our club says, they say TT looking to get rid of Kante. That's a lie. I would not believe that. And I'm going to do a quick poll on that. Why I get who said a fair boy? Welcome to the panel. Tell us what you think about all we've been hearing about Dembele. What do you think it's happening? Close, not closed, or do you think all nonsense, all rumors are nothing true? Are you there, Fairboy? Okay, if you're there, just know that we can hear you, and I hope everyone else on the panel. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so it's Fairboy. It's him. He's having a connection issues. Let me look at what the people say about Dembele, but I want to get Fairboy's thoughts. 47% says chose to say close, or 23% chose to say it's completed, and all rumors, nothing serious for 30%. So, but 47 believe the deal is closed. Well, that may well be the case, but let me quickly. I was going to ask the panel something regarding who. Let me see. Done deal. Okay, Josh, educators, Josh. I want to know what deal is a done deal. Please let us know. And where's I'm wondering is Josh? Is he a mod here? If not, I'm going to try to make him a mod here, but I can do that from the back end. And opening the front end slows down my chat. Fairboy, your thoughts on the Dembele? Everything we're hearing about Dembele, do you think it's true, or do you think it's all rumors?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. I think someone else is speaking. So if the person finished speaking, I'll come in.
Nobody's speaking now.
Oh, all right. But Coachella, before I answer your question, I want to tell you how sad I am this afternoon, because
what happened?
Ghana Black Stars has lost miserably to Japan. 4-1.
It's a friendly.
No, but still it hurts. You understand?
That's a chance. The coach is experimenting.
Yeah, for sure.
So go ahead, let us know what you think.
Okay. Anyway, now I was listening to a certain point you were making concerning Dembele's pay, right? How it could have this sort of domino effect on our team. Now I get where you are coming from. That when you pay a player this much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Certain players would want to demand more when they are renewing their contract. But for me, this is what I would say. I think I have no problem with that. Dembele, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Dembele says that he wants an amount of money and we give it to him, and you say that it would affect how much maybe Mount would want to collect when he renews his contract, I think that, look, I want to say that. You don't think that
will happen? You don't think if, for instance, we finalize Dembele's deal and start paying him 350 or even 300, that will not in any way influence what Mount and Reece James will be asking the club?
No, and I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
I want to tell you that players are different. The value of each player is different, right? So if a club values a particular player more, okay, there's a possibility that they'll increase his pay. If they don't value a player like Mount, there's no way they are going to increase his pay, because they know that they could find a replacement for him. Someone like Dembele, the kind of talent Dembele is very rare. So if he's asking for an amount of money, he deserves it. But someone like Mason Mount, okay, he's been good for us, to be honest. But Mason Mount can be replaced. He's replaceable. Okay. Really? So if Mason Mount comes and complain, you are not. I want this amount of money. I want this amount of money. He's not Dembele, right? He's not them. He's easily replaceable, and you can get someone else of his caliber or even better than him. All right, and can do more on a cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Even regimes himself is. You can get some right backs who might be as good as him or even better than him. You get the point. So if Dembele is asking for a certain amount of money, right? He deserves it. The value that he holds is quite different from the players you are talking about. You understand? So I feel like, of course, if someone like Mount is a very, very valuable asset for us, okay, a very, very valuable asset for maybe in terms of marketing and other things, and those I would understand we increase Mount's pay. Someone like Pulisic, okay, let's say Pulisic plays very good football, but he's also a marketable player, and we increase his pay. I understand it because he brings much more value than the rest of the players in the team. So I don't think that a certain player's pay which is increased necessarily have to affect the wage structure? I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. Because if you look at it, someone like, let's say, Messi, imagine Messi is signed to our club, right? What Messi brings to our club is quite different from what we have already. Okay, Messi is marketable. He draws a lot of what do you call it? Fans, right? Aside from that, he also has the talents and skills that are quite rare compared to the kind of players we have. Someone like Messi is difficult to replace a player like Messi. So in a similar sense, Dembele, maybe he might not be the marketable brand, but when it comes to his skill set, I think that a player like him is rare. Wingers like him are rare. But if you talk about Mason Mount is, you can easily replace Mason Mount. It's easy. If anyone in the comment disagrees with me, he can let us know. But I think for that one, I don't think increasing the pay of Dembele would affect the wage and other things, increasing the price of Mount. So I don't think it will affect the team's finances.
As long as you don't have evidence at hand, whatever argument you make, again, has a limit until until you have evidence. But let me just catch up with the chat quickly, and I'll come back to the panel. I want us to talk about whether Dembele's salary will cause a problem for us. I think it will. Again, that's me. That's my opinion. Josh here says Dembele, it will be announced soon, and nothing has changed since the late update. He will be a Chelsea player. When you say soon, just can you specifically tell us what date we should be looking at? Klaus get in the way. I think this should be telling us the story of how he's fighting with his keyboard. I hope you win that fight. Again, like the stream and subscribe to the channel, says the queen of Chelsea perspective. And here, the queen of all streams is still fighting with her keyboard. I hope she wins. I wish her well. Again, please do like the stream. Keep liking it. We're at 122 likes, and that's not easy. You guys are absolute legends. So thank you, and thank you for 122 likes. But if you haven't, please be sure to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. And that will go a long way. We're shooting for 3K subscribers as soon as possible. Again, says, don't worry, Ghana still have the best kit. Think out with that.
Don't throw me this afternoon.
I love that. I love that. The kit alone, take heart and draw your situation with that. Again, Clock Clippers, again, that I like this. The beats, I like the Sylvia is making me laugh. Yeah. Now we're going to talk about this again. Mount is a new Terry in terms of his the history at the club and how well he's done because he's fine. Sa came on a free on 100K a week. Dembele will have a really, really good wage for that reason. Mount and Reece will also get a good wage. There's no transfer fee associated with them. And that's why I want to ask you, can you let me know whether you think, how much Dembele gets as his weekly wage, whether that will wield any measure of influence on from a negotiating standpoint for Reece James and Mason Mount. I think it will. Even Edouard Mendy, I think it will, if you ask me. True, Josh, he's a yeah, making me mad again. Let's see what's up. Shut up, please, fair boy. Dembele, in your opinion, I don't think it's fair to say shut up. I don't think that's fair at all. I don't think the guy has a poor injury record. You can easily replace him. Yeah, but again, even though he said what you don't like, I don't think it's fair to say shut up. Yep.
Let me address Rubu. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about skill set and perhaps marketability. I'm saying that with a player like Dembele's skill sets are rare, very, very rare. So such players will come at a price. You understand? But someone like Mason Mount, look, I can assure you that Gallagher can replace him. If you sell Mason Mount, you can easily replace him. You can get Gallagher. You replace him easily. And even produce better than Mount. So that is my whole argument. Unless Mason Mount brings something else, right? Maybe marketability. Because if you think about it, Mason Mount is not entirely popular in the family. Like, let me say, a lot of people don't like Mason Mount that much. You understand? Okay.
Mhm.
So when it comes to marketability, I don't think that he has that marketability something. He doesn't add anything else. He does not attract a lot of foreign people to our club. So you cannot say that Mason Mount is much more valuable as Dembele. It's not like that, right?
No,
Someone like
here's one thing else I want to tell you. Mason Mount, as he is, no matter, I know the bias against him. I think the biggest problem, again, people with how people see Mason Mount is he's so industrious in terms of his industry when he's on the pitch. Is no one else in the team can measure that. Even Kante at this point can measure Mason Mount's industry whenever he's on the pitch, and that's why people you hardly see anybody that looks beyond his industry and look at how technically gifted he is. But they say numbers don't lie. We're talking about the guy that won us the player of the season. I'll come back to you. So he has something else that he offers the team that I have every right, and some people who knows the game very well has every right to argue it's invaluable. He's very important to this team. Even when Thomas Tuchel overplayed him, he kept starting him in games. Even those games where you could sense it if you followed him long enough, followed the game long enough, you could sense it that he was just mentally tired. All he needed was a rest. But even at that, he was still putting 150% in terms of his pressing and everything. His industry on the pitch is something that you always get with him. From him. So my argument is, I think, as well as you argue Dembele brings something special, Mason Mount brings something special too, which is why I argue the salary, whatever we agree to pay Dembele, will, to some measure, wield an influence on Reece James and what's this? The Reece James and Mason Mount's negotiating approach. I want to get your thoughts quickly so I can catch up and come back to others on the panel.
You see, Coach Lai made mention of the pressing, and I'm saying that there are players who can replace Mason Mount when it comes to pressing. And I mentioned one player, Gallagher. He can replace Mason Mount.
Right? No, we don't want Gallagher to come in and replace him because they play differently.
I know, but I'm making a point here that someone like Mason Mount is replaceable. There are people who fit his profile, right? Like when you talk about the pressing, yes, Mason Mount's pressing is invaluable to us. But I'm saying that there are some players who have that trait of pressing. And I mentioned Gallagher. So if Mason Mount is complaining because his wage is not, like, we are not giving him the wage he deserves, I'm saying he's easily replaceable. Gallagher can do that. And Gallagher has much more technique than Mason Mount. You see? So that is where my argument is coming from. When it comes to how much someone is paid, I think the club looks at how valuable the player would be for them, right? In a lot of things. So that affects how much someone is paid. And I'm telling you, someone like Mason Mount is replaceable. If you talk about Dembele,
even Dembele is replaceable too.
Are you saying that
no player is irreplaceable?
No, but I'm saying that with that sort of talent that Dembele has, you cannot easily get that sort of talent anyway. It's rare.
I mean, you could argue that. I think I get your argument. I get your argument. And but then again, I understand. I have to say, I'm just going to try and catch up here. But I like when your argument is as strong as that. I like it. That's when you get the best out of me. But you get my point. You made your point, and I've made my own point. I think there's always something to learn from each other. But thank you for that great input. I'm going to go through the chat and come back to the panel. And by the way, people, if you're watching, go check out a Fair Chelsea Analysis. That is the name of the channel of Fair Chelsea Analysis. Go check out his channel. I'll try to make sure I provide the link to his channel in the description section once the video is ready. Here, I want to read what Josh said here. I think that's in response to my question, where he said, well, his contract ends June 30th. So I would guess some time between now and then. I think it makes sense. That's common sense anyway. If Mount had 15 to 20 goals in his past season, he would be worth a big salary. At the moment, he needs to work on finishing. How old is he again? How old is Mount? Mount is around 21, 22, right? And we seem to forget that. How old is Mason Mount? If you're on the channel, please help me. Or on the chat, if you, Trippier is killing me here. Dembele shouldn't demand too much at the moment of the day. He hadn't proven himself at a consistent basis. He's still young. It's not like Messi, Salah, Lukaku, etc. Etc. I don't agree with that. I think he will be demanding more. And like Fairboy said, this is a player under normal circumstances you'd be getting for 80 to 100 million, but we're getting him on a free. So he knows that. He knows what he brings. He may well be asking for more, almost again, at least 25% salary increase from what he's earning at Barcelona. So you have to check out that. My guess for Dembele will be between 150 to 200K a week, which means you're suggesting he's going to take a salary cut. I love you, Josh, but I'm okay. The amount is 22. Some say 23. Which should I take here? I think more people say 23. But again, Josh, I love you, but I'm going to disagree. I don't think he'd take a wage cut, given that under normal circumstances, we'd be paying him. We'll be paying almost 17 million plus to secure his signature, but he's coming on a free, and he knows that. And if the manager really wants him, I think that even makes it likely for us to pay him even more than he's earning at Barcelona, most likely, but free. Yep. For free. Yeah, free is always good. I think Dembele will be 250 to 300K, but now we're told that he's earning around 350. But that's, by the way, I'm going to try to catch up with everybody. He says here, Dembele thrived in the wide open space of Germany and Spain. So you're arguing that in the Premier League, it will be different. It will be different. Here's the thing. I think I disagree with you. I don't think it will be different, but we'll see. Hopefully, more importantly, let's sign him first. If you watch his highlights again or games he's played in, I think no matter, even when you have, in some cases, 2-3 players on him, he still finds a way to dribble his way through, and he doesn't shy away from taking players on. That's something that makes him special. I don't think it's all about space. I still think he would do away in the Premier League, but I get your argument. Again, this Mount had enough. Nobody's dissing Mount here. We're just having an argument, and that's why we have a show, okay? Again, he says he needed another season with Lampard. Who needed another season with Lampard? Can you explain? Please don't compare Mason Mount and Kante. Mason Mount is just hype. I wouldn't say just hype. He's good. Kante is a different kind of player altogether. Mason is brilliant, but so much people underrate Mount because they don't look beyond his industry. I think you could call it a stereotype if you want. Mount is grossly stereotyped, if you want to phrase it that way. Another season with Lampard. Again, I like seeing Manny here. His arguments make me laugh. Mason is a very important player. Yep, for Chelsea Football Club. I am not in favor of selling our academy players without a good reason. Sorry, yes, I'm not in favor of selling any of our players to.
Why would you sell them?
I don't know. And again, another thing is the English quota, which is what Fair Blue is talking about here. I think an English player in an English club has marketability. That's important, and we need a certain measure. I don't know how many English players were required or homegrown players were required to have in the team. There's a quota for that. I'm not sure how many. Sell him and replace him with Gallagher, so we have one player again. Yeah, exactly. That's a good argument there. So I'm going to skip everything in down to the very bottom, except if I see anything I haven't read, I will try and read it. Young points isn't working. Says True Blue. I'm sorry. Can you please not call people names, please? It will turn. Even that's coming from the Queen. It's not okay. You should do better than that. Age and learning needs motivation. That's just the truth. He hasn't complained about his wages. Who hasn't? But let's see what happens after you sign Dembele and start paying him 300. I appreciate your civility here. The way. Thank you very much. That shows you're a mature person. Again, says my line says Pulisic, Lukaku, Dembele front three will care. 72 facts says. And again, the Bluetooth again says there's not many players that can press a City back line with successful respect. Gallagher did that. I think I remember that game. He pressed the life out of them. But when he... Sorry?
Which one was it? Was it when there was a draw?
Yeah, I think it was a draw, but he pressed the life out of them. He didn't give them space. Only him has the energy to do that. I would keep Mount. Yeah, nobody's going to sell him. So just don't think about the club selling him. I'd even sign a Bellingham to play with him. I think we should find time to actually talk about Bellingham. All right, bro. I know you got to go probably because you're at work, but I find time to talk with you whenever time allows. He can walk, boss. Again, let me try and catch up with everything. Mountain, Bellingham, Gallagher would be something to build a team. Yep, that's the truth. Anything else to talk about here? Say, Steve, nothing you say can help me. Again, we should please watch out the language we use. We shouldn't please say anything that will hurt anybody. That's not okay. And truly, thank you for being civilized here. Again, no matter who you are, be respectful to others. Again, let me say anything else. I think I'm going to... Okay, let me just skip to read anything. It says, probably on the higher end of 250. Ram is our highest earning at 325. I don't think he'll be up there. Do you think he'd take a pay cut? Because if you're saying you don't think he'd be up there, okay, well, let me know. Share the link here and let me know when it starts so I can share with people. Fairboy. Okay, let me know when it starts and share the link so I can share with people to go drop a like there. Who has 17 years in the club, more than some. Again, let me go down. I think I'm going to skip everything. Anything here else? Mount is a fantastic player at his age. Yep, and I'm actually afraid that we're overplaying him, but never gets enough mention, never gets enough respect. People don't respect him enough. I've had, for instance, Nick Blue argued he doesn't deserve to win a player of the season. This is something that probably Thiago himself probably voted for Mason Mount. He's, again, who did I?
Modest.
Everybody's misunderstanding anything. I'm not saying you called anybody's name. I read something, which I saw something I don't like, and I'm saying the person that did that, I think it was Tribia that called somebody's name, and I'm saying I'm not okay with that, okay? So I'm not blaming, don't jump to conclusions and I'm blaming you for anything, please. Billy Gilmore is pants. Again, I'm not sure what that means. I'm going to come down to the panel. Ty, your thoughts on the potential salary of what's his name, of Ousmane Dembele. Do you think that will cause issues?
It's pretty likely because I think somebody gave an example that Lukaku is our highest paid in terms of wages. Obviously, if he leaves, that frees up that space. But this wages situation has caused a lot of issues. It causes a lot of players, and it's something that it's unfortunate that can happen. But I think it could be an issue. I'm pretty sure that if the club are really willing to get him, and if Tuchel is as vocal as he is about getting him in, they'll try to find a solution. But I think that realistically, there's going to be a setback about the wages, and they're not going to just agree on the first time around if they try to, and they'll just agree automatically. The wages is an issue, and with the club may look at the fact that he has been having these injury concerns as well. Obviously, he hasn't been injured for a while, but you really don't know, and you don't know really the medical team, the strength of the medical team that Barcelona have. So you really can't be certain if he's actually back up to the full fitness that he's believed to be on. So it's a certainty because it's uncertain, because I think if you're not sure about if he's going to be available in some games and you're going to be paying him that much, it's going to have its consequences. There's going to be a big risk to do that. So I think it could be an issue. Will it be a long withstanding issue? I'm not really sure, but I think it could be a setback because the wages will be something that will cause some form of issue, especially with other players who are surprisingly earning so little but have great value to the team. But that solution will have to be fixed. But I always say the wage structure is an issue, and I think it needs to be refurbished and it needs to be fixed because it's all over the place.
I think it is something that we can just the club can now just call the players and say, okay, You take a which card, so we can balance things. So it's not easy. So you can only manage those as you're bringing in. I think that's the only starts from there. But again, I appreciate your sincere comment on that. And I want to say to Stribia, thank you for saying, apologizing to whatever was going on between you and a True Blue. That shows, you're kind-hearted, and that shows, again, we all need love. We don't need to be fighting. Again, okay, like she said, just playing. Exactly. So, but sometimes how we play will may go over the top, and some people might see it from a different light. But thank you very much for being mature enough to say that you're sorry, and I hope he understands because he's older. I think he's older than all of us here, so we should show some respect. But thank you, Queen. Thank you, Strip Beer, for doing your best, keeping the stuff clean, and recognizing you need to apologize, and that's the way it should be. At least you don't show arrogance of not saying, okay, why would you apologize because you're the queen of all streams? And the queen of the house says, oh, she missed a minute. What's going on? She's gone for a second. Nothing. Like Sylvia says, we were just playing. He says, and she says, all need her to love, including me. That's the truth. We need to love and respect each other. And truly, you heard her. She's come across, as not. She didn't mean it to be whatever you want to say. Apologies to you. I'm joining saying apologizing to you. So I don't think if we have more time, I think we are tight. I want to get your thoughts on everything we've talked about today. And I've shared the link to your channel, but I'll make sure to add your information in the description section because that helps too. Your thoughts on everything we've talked about today. I think we'll continue with De Ligt, Jesus, Koulibaly, and others we have on the list tomorrow to see the ones that were, there's a chance we sign them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I missed a bit of it, but there was some interesting, and I think at one point Fairboy was cooking something. I don't know what he was cooking, but it was smelling very good, and it sounded very well. So I mean, it's something that it's gonna always have divided opinions. There's always gonna be split opinions, especially when it comes on to players like De Ligt and Sterling or Jesus in some cases, because people look at it as a way that why is City so willing to let go of these players if they have such great value? But I mean, you can't really know for sure. But for me, it's my only assumption would be that they're trying to release or reduce the wage issue that they had because they had to pay Haaland so much money.
Yeah, that's a chance that's the case.
Yeah, so they have to be. And I mean, the easiest thing to do is to just let go of the two players that you don't really use that much. So, I mean, to them, it won't really be affecting them because they barely play. So, in a sense, I guess it would make sense. But, I mean, with Dembele and, Dembele is a possibility. It's 50-50 because PSG are back in for him if they ever weren't not interested in him. But I feel like if the club put the best case forward and, they try to persuade him the best way possible and they can find an agreement, then you never know, you could get a good player. With Nkunku is a tough one because he looks like he's likely to stay, and he looks like Leipzig will give him an extension and he may end up staying. So I mean it was an interesting discussion. It was well divided. The chat was saying some hilarious things as well. But I mean, it was good to listen to, and I mean, it was a customary nice show.
Yeah, I think it's been a brilliant idea to talk and look at the possibilities of each of the players that we've talked about joining our beloved club, and I think we're coming to sensible conclusions that we can agree the links with Raheem Sterling doesn't really make sense. I think they'd rather sell him to another club than Chelsea Football Club. Gabriel Jesus, we haven't talked about him. Nkunku makes sense to a certain measure, but it remains to be seen how we're going to be able to convince Leipzig to sell. The Dembele case, I think there are factors that we've looked at that made it seem, it's 50-50. He may well come to us. Ken, I'm looking at something. Look like Just Viola has caught me misspelling something again, and she's just shaming me in public. And Stribia, no matter what you're going through, you're loved. We love you so much. So don't worry about it too much. You've apologized. That shows you're a special person. We really do love you, and you're the queen of all streams, by the way. Nobody can take that away from you. I understand, so don't worry about it.
I see
We
what
all
he's
have
talking.
personal, yeah, we all have personal issues that we don't share in public here. Says Coachella, if Dembele really wants to, reconnect with his old manager and play for us, he will take a pay cut. Maybe, except if he's desperate enough to replicate the form he showed under Thomas Tuchel at Dortmund. That may well be the case. Check out Fair Boys.
Yeah, that's what she's
UB.
talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you forgot the
And
T
thank
between
you.
the two
Yeah, and
U's.
she had to shame me in public, and like she does
You
all
said
the time.
you could direct message you or something.
But that's okay. That's okay anyway. Please go check out Fair Boys YouTube channel. She'll be going live, I think, in a few minutes or an hour. I'm not sure. But even if it is to drop a like for her and subscribe to the channel, if you haven't, that will go a long way. I say spend 13 years with Voices. I know you're better. You're better now. We love you. Just know that the most important thing is that we love you, okay? And we know you preach love all the time. Nobody is perfect. Kachila, yes, thank you. Thank you. I'll get back at you. Don't worry about that. We really don't want to be, getting into a bidding war with PSG, especially with their link to Easy. I think they have a lot of money, and with the link to Zinedine Zidane, I think a lot of people will be lured to the club. But let's see what happens. But I think Dembele's biggest lure would be he had his best form under Thomas Tuchel, but that doesn't mean PSG isn't attractive too. City are changing to strikers from a false nine. They have Grealish and Mahrez. Pep does not stand still, evolving again. I think that may well be the reason why they want to do away with all these players. I fight for peace. Does sound to Americans. Yeah, I can. Is that you poking fun at me as an American? But that's fine. You know I love you, Quinn. Again, Mounties, go ahead. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, but what True Blue said, I mean, that reminds me of something. Julian Alvarez, they signed him. He kind of plays as a winger as well. He's like a deep line for. He seems as if he'll be a false nine. But for Holland, what's the point? To get him for one season and then potentially see him leave?
I don't know. That doesn't mean potentially see him leave. Again, there's a chance
He has a
he
release
wants to
clause,
mix it up. That's a chance he wants to mix it up.
There's a release clause, though. There's a release clause in his contract. So if for example, Real Madrid come in and they won and they meet it, they have to sell. So to me, it makes sense that they brought in Julian Alvarez because I mean, if they lose him, they have another quality young striker. But it depends on if they're gonna loan him out or something. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Let me quickly catch up here again. Mount is too good. He's a good player overall. Sorry, no, it's too late. It's too late. You already shamed me, and that's like 2 times now. So I'm gonna find a way to revenge. See, it's becoming a thing. Yes, and Lee says time for me to go, coach. Mods and all the viewers, great show as always. See you too soon, brother, and thank you for always supporting the channel. Says I feel like a Bernardo would be money well spent, but they're not gonna let him go. I don't think so. I know he's probably asking for more money. Yep, stay safely. We love you here. Bye, Lee, says the Queen. Haaland is very mobile and moves like a false nine. He's able, to adapt even a change of system. But we'll see. It's again, I'm not going to start to talk about the comparison. Chelsea, the Kingslayer. He's not a lamppost like Lukaku. Oh, man, I'm trying to be a nice person here because I want to go to heaven. We don't need Sterling in the side. I don't think we need them but the link we've all agreed is absolute nonsense. And tomorrow we will continue looking at more people. Yeah, likes a message. Similarly, we need a balance. Someone be the optimist. Yes, someone have to be optimistic. We don't all have to be pessimistic. And with that, I have to say, right now we have 126 likes. Let's get it at least to 130 likes. So if you haven't, please like the video. That will go a long way. And again, looking at what we have here, we have 2,754. We've gained nearly 30 subscribers today. So if you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel to help us to reach 3,000 subscribers as soon as possible, or at least 6 more subscribers to get to 2,800 subscribers. That will most definitely go a long way. Again, am I that far behind? Okay, I'm here. With that, we've come to the end of the show, and I want to say thank you to my brother Titox, for finding time to join today's shows. And again, be sure to go check out Titox YouTube channel. Great content. He likes to talk about
one subscriber.
Sorry?
I got 1,000, not 1,000, one subscriber after you shared the link.
Yeah, and you know what I told you about shout outs, but again, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
more people here recognize you, who you are. I think the most important thing I would do is to link to your channel. That helps push the algorithm and understands, okay, it's linked to this channel and everything is going with it. Let's look at it. I hope that goes along with. Please, if you haven't, let me try and see how quickly I can find the link again. So you can go subscribe to Thai Talks YouTube channel. Great content, especially from the perspective of Chelsea Football Club. Let me see how quickly I can find this link. Ty, if you can quickly send it to me, that will be fine.
I'm gonna send it in the private chat.
Okay, do quickly. If you can get that quickly for me, that would be all right. So if you haven't, do like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't, to help us reach more people. And again, let me see. We'll round off with what we have in the chat here, and I'm going to share Thai Talks. I'm going to share his the link to his YouTube channel again. Please go check it out and do subscribe to his channel. And don't forget to tell him I sent you link to Thai Talks YouTube channel. Please go check it out. I hope I didn't misspell it.
Yeah, don't spell it, because just feel will come to you again.
I'm going to be careful this time. So yeah, Thai Talks YouTube channel. Here's the link. Please be sure to go subscribe to his channel, please. I'd appreciate that. And for the poll we have here, let me look at the poll again. It says, do you think Dembele's salary will cause issues at Chelsea? 46% says yes, and 54% says no. Okay, that may well be the case. And with that, I ask you, please, if you haven't, please do like the video.
Do you know somebody named Killer Red?
Why do you ask that?
Because I got a notification saying they have just subscribed. So I'm asking if you know.
Yeah, he was here. So they listened. Killer Red was here and probably liked the content. So if you haven't, please do like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, it says, but we're joining for fun. I know you enjoy yourself. You're one of the biggest Chelsea fans I've ever seen. And again, I want to thank you for the 2 super stickers you've sent. That's not easy. I sincerely do appreciate that. That shows how much you love the club. So thank you, and thank you again. And I'm saying again, I hope to see you guys. Maybe, I don't know, for the evening shows. I cannot be certain until I schedule it. So I cannot say I'll host one yet. But I urge you to always, try. If you haven't, come try the Blue Morning Show. It's a brilliant show. Everybody gets involved. It's very, very inclusive. Those in the chat, those on the panel, everybody's opinions matters. So with that, we've come to the end of the show, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. God bless us all, and bye.